Welcome.
I hate that.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the newest episode of The Damaged Goods.
Wow.
You know the drill, so let's get into a recap. Last episode, on a journey, a quest, so very heavy and impactful, sent from Blackstaff herself, an expedition crew from Candlekeep, along with our damaged goods, made their way to the Avernian wastelands. The trajectory of this expedition so far has passed its first leg. You were meant to acquire transport and make your way safely across the Avernian wastes to get to a tributary of the River Styx. We had done that through some very interesting means by finding relative safety in Bithraka's Cat's Catch, in fighting for your lives and for soul coins, as well as transportation devices against a warband of gnolls, and in traveling through the heat and meteor storms of the wastes themselves to what can only be described as a infernal fortress, a blackened stone edifice, two towers rising up from the limestone wastes to the sky, capped with like searing pupils of flickering light in the distance. You find yourselves now watching it from the relative safety of a crag about a mile and a half off. I should also preface this with reminding you of some of the other things that are happening at the same time. People's true colors seem to come out in the last interaction we had at the Cat's Catch. We lost some very important people, one of them being Vander, whom, through a conversation, you found out was going to sell the expedition party upriver, essentially jeopardizing the entire quest in hopes that he could trade that information for the contract that his father signed to save his family. You thought that was unacceptable. He thought that was unacceptable.
I thought it was rather silly.
He left. And in the morning you found out that he had stolen in the night one of the last Devil's Rides, and Uldan was tasked with following him. Uldan chased him for as far as he could until he made relative camp, and you made the hard decision to tell Uldan to attempt to cripple him a bit, to take away his ride. We found out last session, after the relative safety of staying indoors for once in Amemnon's magic mansion, that did not go so well.
Yeah, I got stumped.
2 scries later, you found Vander whipping through the Avernian heat with a blood-soaked face, and Uldan flickering with life in some limestone cave. This being too much for the expedition party to bear, Bodlin and Alicia decided to part ways, making their way to Uldan, hopefully to save him, and organizing some sort of travel back, hopefully in the next day or so. You guys were left with just Heidi, Sixer, Amemnon, and Guile.
We did leave behind a tormentor.
You did,
As well.
as you're down to 1 vehicle. That vehicle has made you all the way here, and that's where we start today's session.
We just left the magnificent mansion, right?
Well, you guys actually
We're
spent
approaching the castle.
a full,
We saw the castle.
yeah, like 8 or 16 hours of travel
We
to,
did it already.
To this outcropping a mile off. I will also preface this with another sort of like freshened description
As far as I did.
Yeah.
of Fort Firespit in Infernal Fort Huck 2. It is sort of on a flat limestone like caldera, similar to the one that you started with, but very, very large. This one extends about like 10 miles in diameter, so it crests really far off into the horizon. And it was, from your guys' vantage point, a relatively gradual slope of accumulated sand and sediment down to this flattened area. It really starts to become craggy off to the northern sort of like rim. Other than that, the ribbon of the river Styx cuts its way almost like in diameter across it, with the fort sort of sitting just to the north of the center of this impact point. You can see, because Spixter has his spy glasses and will also give you and you one, as he seems to have like a bunch of them in his bag.
Sure, man.
That off to the I guess like east of this fortress, the river Styx kind of dips and begins to make its way into the softer sediment, going down further and further and further. I will also say that there is a guard wall around the majority of this complex. It's about 30 feet high, immense slabs of very different hue to the natural like rock in the area. They seem like almost like a blackened granite with a lot of iron. Around the whole circumference, I guess the size of this complex is about, I would say, a quarter mile across in total. And at the sort of like front-facing flank that you guys are positioned to look at, where one of the towers is, at its front face there is this immense like iron-grated door where a procession of various clusters of beings appear to be moving towards it, almost like they're in a line, that go off sort of in scattered travel to a mile south, or a mile, I guess, to the west, downriver, where they appear to be sort of like getting off of vessels that are docking at a pretty ramshackle sort of like port. Any questions?
So Vander's in there?
I guess probably. Does it look like all of this area is convening to like one point to get through the gates?
So, it looks like, actually, just roll a little perception check just while you have the thing out, because there's a couple different things that are going on, and I want to see what you got.
I was like, Nuanen's actually asking you.
It's an 18. Wow.
17 plus 8.
Dirty 20.
Okay, sounds good. And also, if you have a spyglass, just make it with advantage.
Oh, sure, I don't. Just a dirty
If you wanted, you could ask.
Spixter, can I borrow your... Can I borrow?
No! Yeah.
Thank you.
25.
25, sounds good.
I'm gonna look at the walls.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll keep the natural 18.
Oh.
It's a 5 and a 4.
Okay. That
Wait,
doesn't
hold
seem
on.
very good, does it? No.
I will just keep those numbers. You know what? Why not? Basically, I want to look
dirty
at the walls.
20.
I'm looking at different stuff that they are, so
Dirty 20, 25. And then you got a what?
I got a 5.
Lovely. Did you want to do a little look-see-poo?
Nope, but trust
Okay.
my friends.
I'm looking for something specific. So when you get to me,
I'll get to you last. 20. You see, looking, sort of surveying the whole thing. Most notably, it appears to be a bunch of creatures which you've only really heard of. I mean, actually, give me a nature check.
History?
I would say...
You didn't feel included.
I would say you can either
Said
do
nature.
history or nature. They will give you different answers.
I'll help you with nature if you want.
My history is much better.
If you're mumbling about it, I'll start saying stuff.
History?
Yeah, I got a +8 to history, so I'm gonna go history.
Really?
I was like,
It's okay. I don't have anything
pretty
in
decent
history
history too.
other than my
No, I
intelligence.
don't. That's a
modifier.
different
No.
character. Never mind.
That's a 25.
Sounds good.
Oh.
You know that there is a common red thread that burrows its way through most of the negative planes. Like veins of hatred, they descend through the organisms of the lower planes. This is the river Styx in its myriad of presentations, but there are few creatures that can actually ply the river Styx safely. one, and most notably is the
Morenoloth.
Morenoloth, yes, which I have a thing for, and I know how it's called.
Yes.
They are essentially like large, they're almost skeletal. Very thin, sinewy sort of muscles on grayed flesh, sort of like cloaked in various robes of grays and blacks. They stand sort of emotionless at the front of these gondolier-esque boats of varying sizes. Sometimes there's one, sometimes there's two. But what you find in looking at these is that they have a staff on all of these ships with an aged sort of lantern that appears to be shedding a greenish light across the boat. You notice that when they get to this sort of port, to the, I guess, downriver a mile or so away, they stop, dock at the port, and any creatures that are living get off of the boat and begin to process towards this fortress. You notice too, since you have a 25, that there's one ship in particular that has a bunch of cargo boxes on it that just continues steadfastly plying towards the fortress. You notice, as you're preoccupied, there are a few things. One, the gate is flanked by these two creatures, almost devils, but made of metal, like awakened plate mail armor with these horrifying faces pounded into these helmets. They stand on either side, weapons in hand, surveying the people coming in, as a few other devils, smaller devils, spined, and there's two of them that are spined with wings sort of flitting about at the top looking at things, and there's two that have these beards of like almost tentacle-like barbs that appear to be sort of like pushing and roughing up people and like kind of getting people in, rejecting people, downright like shackling people moving through.
Bina.
Just like the wrong person, they're
Yes.
just get taken
Knock
away.
it off.
Your attention is, I'm gonna say, grabbed by a burst of flame that happens at the downriver, just at the periphery of this fortress. It's hard to see exactly what's happening from this vantage point, but you see sort of like a burst just off to the north, right before that stone wall.
Kind of like a scuffle?
Threshold of the fortress. No, you can see half of a boat making its way through, and the flame almost like explodes from the back, but the boat is not harmed as it continues through.
Like maybe
That's cool.
sort of a propulsionary
What did you
device?
get?
I got a 5, and I was looking at the wall. First of all, I want to know, is the whole thing made out of iron?
No.
And is there grates that are
Or
like
Peter
water
size?
grates that go from
That's what I
Oh,
the
like
outside
a
of the wall?
Ooh, okay, so this is perfect for a 5. So you see a few things. It is mostly stone. There are huge spikes of iron, like crowning the entire top of this, like, I guess, guard wall around the fortress, that just have, like, wicked iron rusted tips. Some of them, like, boasting half-rotten skeletons of, you would assume, trespassers that weren't supposed to be there, standing as a warning to whoever might try to get in for nefarious deeds. You can't see the front, or like where the river connects to this fortress from this vantage. You're essentially like, here's the fort right here. You guys are looking from this direction, so the river sticks this way and that way. It's hard to see how they're getting in and out without moving your vantage point to a more vulnerable position.
Okay, and there's no like serrated holes that I can see in the wall that might be for like sewage or something coming
Not
out?
from this vantage. You can't
Okay.
really see anything other than these winged devils that are just sort of flying around, perching between the points, looking. Some of them really minuscule, some of them larger. But it appears like any devils that are capable of flight are like patrolling the airways, kind of seeing what's around.
Are we drawing any attention as we're coming up to this area?
Make an insight check.
Ooh, we like to see the 2 digits on the dice. That just means the
I
math
thought
is
we were
harder.
just standing staring at it, got out of the vehicle.
Yeah, you guys are in a really good spot.
We're not
so,
driving anymore.
21?
We're just
26?
For what?
staring.
Insight.
Oh,
Staring.
do you mind? Yeah, do you mind
No worries.
if you'd like to make a roll, and I've already designated to another character, just ask
Yes, absolutely.
so that I can. Yeah,
26.
26. And you got a 21.
Yes.
Sounds good. So 26. I would say there's nobody looking in your direction,
Okay.
and it appears like the day's sort of, I guess, monotony of running this fort.
People aren't like.
No.
Okay.
It doesn't appear
Okay.
that you're drawing any attention. Similar to you, you're noticing, since you're kind of looking at the port, there doesn't appear to be anyone either like looking in your direction either from that direction. No.
Okay.
Can we see before we get up there what the trade for entry is? Are they trading soul coins for entry? Are they?
Yeah.
Is paperwork being exchanged? I assume a Memnon would
I
have
got an idea.
this figured
Maybe
out.
we don't
I
sneak
turn around,
Wait,
and
wait,
I
wait,
slide
wait.
down the hill.
Wait.
Not
I
going
catch
to
you by
the-
the back of your hood.
I'm going
kid.
back towards where the truck
Oh, we
is.
crested with the truck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Why are we
okay,
not
so like
hiding?
add a little description to this. So you kind of sort of like
so do I.
descended this nice sort of like sediment, like it's almost like a
We all panicked.
like a sandy sort of mud that's built over a long period of time.
Yeah.
That makes a gradual slope onto this breakage in limestone. So
Elevation.
similar to where you kind of camped out when you guys were
So
casing the Waragashi. It's a similar sort of like weird.
We're like up at the top of the line.
yeah, so you're looking kind of over the spire.
Okay,
like
I
up
let
here.
go of the top
And you can
I
slide down
back
back.
down.
The
Yes, exactly.
safe way.
Yes.
On the not towards the fort.
You would have to go over to like be
Okay, good.
seen.
Good.
Sure, never mind.
Okay, I get to the bottom and I'm like, oh, Memnon, you
Yeah.
obviously had a plan for this, right?
I did.
Okay, what is it?
Well,
Yeah, we all huddle in close.
when we had initially discussed trying to make our way through Fort Firespit, we were going to confer with a Miramoth, the name Ulara. We were planning on meeting with them before the fort and trying to find safe passage through, or meeting them afterwards.
I did see a Marineloth with a cargo ship. It looked like heading north of the fort.
That's my worry. I think there might be some sort of defense that we didn't have pre-planned that could be surveying whether or not creatures are on board. We can investigate a little further, but that might be the one thing that's keeping us from going through this fortress. We also have at our disposal some relative illusory or disguising magics that we could use to possibly gain entry and safely leave from the interior.
Do we have any like temporary exit this plane, re-enter the plane magic that could help us?
Nothing temporary, no.
Travels with us.
Well, I mean, I've heard of some pretty strong stuff that might allow us to just like step into the ghost plane and then
By all
come back.
means.
I make potions. I'm asking this because you're a wizard.
Suppose a couple
You're
of
a
us,
wizard. I don't know.
A couple of us could jump into the bag of
We
holding.
do have some oil of Ethereum.
That's a
which
very-
could help us.
What
Very
I'm going to be
temporary
very honest here.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
My expedition party is divided. Our navigator, who has all the maps, one of which, very importantly, got us to this place, is not here. Our illusionist was affected by some sort of problem, elected to leave, and is gone. He was the one who was going to disguise us. Anyone to be able to use translation is now gone, as Vander has gone. The way of anarchy.
I myself do have access to translation spells.
Honestly,
I'm able to
half of us know how
suffice
to speak
that.
Infernal. And Guile's here, so it's probably more than half.
I don't mind to become, I guess, riled by a situation that doesn't have an easy solution. The problem is, I did not expect that our expedition crew would get to this point so disparate.
Honestly, I thought we were doing better than I expected.
Quite frankly, I
Peter.
expected most of us to be dead.
Grudj.
Well, we are good on all those fronts, sir.
I crack my neck.
So
I think we have a bit of time, as we are still waiting on Bodlin and Alicia to reconvene with Roldan. Oh, Heidi, could you communicate with them this morning and just see if they have any updates?
What is the purpose of this castle? What do they do here? Why are people going in it?
Excellent question.
Is it like the inventory?
This will be a great moment to kind of give a little bit of understanding about, for anyone who doesn't know.
I
how
pull up
Avernus
a boulder.
operates.
I
Sit down.
restrain myself from immediately telling you.
Because the Blood War has waged for thousands of millennia, there are precautions that the Archduke of the level of Avernus, which has changed hands many times, I will not get into that, as it
Isn't it like
would
a
be
dragon
into a
at
whole-
some point or
Well,
something?
currently it's Zariel. That's a very apt point. It did used to be a monstrosity by the name of Tiamat. There was some politics there. I cannot get distracted. Let's stay on point. In any way, the River Styx has a peculiar irregularity. It tends to carve out new pathways constantly. This causes a problem, as if there are demons in the river making their way towards lower levels of the hell, what's to stop them from just constantly going? You'd be surveying hundreds of thousands of tributaries at all times just to make sure that the next layer is safe. They came up with a solution. Zariel, well, the last Archduke, set up these fortresses around the entrance to the next layer. They, look with me, and he sort of points off to the two towers that have these gleaming lights like pupils. He says, those are boons from whatever Archduke is here currently. I would assume Zariel. One of them, to my knowledge, is to keep the area where the light is shed from eroding, so that the river is constantly in path through this fortress. The other...
I look at the other suspiciously.
If he's rolling history, I'll give him history advantage.
It's not...
I heard
You're
a
waiting for your moment to speak up. I know.
Like, I heard a poem in a bar once.
I would assume is to protect from creatures that have no business getting to the other hells. Most of these forts are positioned in such a way as the outlet of it is more dangerous than the inlet. And so, a lot of travelers may elect to circumvent the fort, go around the other side, but they are met with roaring rapids and no safety. And the added negative aspect of the River Styx being potent itself. It creates unique defense. So to answer your question, a long-winded answer, it is to make sure that no creatures like ourselves make it to the next layer.
How strict does that get? You could say that I'm sort of a devil, maybe, kinda.
I'm not sure. The boon can change from fort to fort, so whatever protections are in place might need a little bit of understanding before we make a risky maneuver.
So we don't need to go to the next layer.
We absolutely do.
to get through.
I
Yes.
thought we were going.
Our
just to this
expedition
castle
crew
and stop there.
is set to infiltrate a bureau of infernal affairs within an upper ward within the city of Dis. We have to get to Dis to be able to do that.
this is through.
Oh, don't look downcast. That was a brilliant question. Raise your spirits.
That's a good question. No, we're not in.
I've been a
this.
little preoccupied the last
We're
few
in
days.
Avernus.
Very
We'll be the
good.
first layer. Thank you.
Out of general curiosity, what has happened to these previous archduches?
It's fine.
I heard they know who we are.
Politics has a unique way of eating its own people.
This Tiamat, is she entrapped on this layer of hell? Or is she...
I don't think that's.
To be completely honest, Old Dawn might know more about that than I would. She's been in hiding for quite a long time, and the piecemeal information that we do get from survivors of her temperaments are not necessarily accurate. Usually, the only information we can get are from venerates or cultists of Tiamat who have a lot to say about what and when she could be, but whether that is truth is...
I'm perfectly okay with not involving the Hell
Yeah.
Dragon God.
Yeah, let's maybe.
It was
do a
just my
low
intention to
profile.
potentially, if we sow some chaos, maybe eyes might move elsewhere.
a distraction now.
We have a giant bomb.
So, if we take out that big eye up there and it starts to
I
move
love
the
that.
river,
Oh.
and everyone starts panicking because we're moving the river.
Then we get attacked by a bunch of demons.
That's a brilliant idea.
Well,
It
I'm
would
just
take
wondering why not
probably
just take out the
at
eye?
least a couple of days for the river to cause so much movement that it could.
Did
But
anyone else?
a brilliant
Sorry,
plan.
just-
If we were to
maybe
take
that's
out
too simple,
if we
but-
were to take out the beam of protection, then maybe we could get safe entry.
Did anyone else see those sort of big metal doodads down next to the gate? I point them out. Do those look at all like your sort of mechanical fellow?
What?
Your bodysuit?
Yeah, what
Your
about it?
scootily doot scuba suit?
What are you pointing at?
An actor?
Yeah, the
Creatures-
Nectar!
creatures
Did you
of the
forget his
gates.
name?
I did. I called them the scootily doot.
Honestly, those look kinda crude.
Scootily doot. Just
They look
I'm
kind of
wondering.
crude.
They do.
Do
in
they? They don't
comparison
look-
to the actor, yes,
Okay.
Are they naked?
Yeah.
No, they're sort of
They do.
like.
Naked metal.
I imagine people are walking
when you're
past
made
them
out
as
of-
they enter.
When you're made out of what would normally go over
They
your
look like
body,
this.
your body is what would normally go over your body, then you're just always naked, right?
Oh,
no.
they
I
look.
never thought of it like that.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Do they
look
look
like this.
celestial in make?
No.
Okay.
They
Yeah,
look
they
like
look ugly.
tortured souls.
I don't like
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Devils.
Okay, so
They look roughly
So,
made.
to
Distraction
get to the
sounds
next
good.
layer of hell, we need to just go down the river.
Well, we need to secure safe passage, and the easiest way to do that is through the light of a Merriloth.
It's that thing up there.
Alara.
no,
And he
no,
sort of
no.
like guides
Lanterns.
your vision towards the
Grabs
port.
my face.
Yeah, towards the port. You see over there, that greenish cast that boat is putting on the water.
One of them waves.
Notice how the water isn't moving or rippling around it.
Oh, really? It's calm. Where
The light of the lantern is.
So we just have to get
you have to
Just
get a
need a
we have to
approval
get a
or
boatman.
get through on the boat. On a boat, right?
Yeah.
do we know where our
Well,
contacts
what if we
are?
take out the eye, and then while they're panicking about that thing up there, no one will be looking down at the I don't know.
Okay,
I quite
so-
honestly
Nope,
think that
continue.
is a
Keep
brilliant
going.
idea.
And then
I-
as they're going for that, we go through in a boat.
All right. Okay, hold on.
That's a brilliant plan.
It
We're
is-
forgetting
What?
one key detail.
Yes.
What is the detail?
That eye is stopping all the demons that ever existed from going into the next layer of hell.
Where we're going.
Perfect chaos.
Well,
But-
Too much.
maybe we
chaos?
don't need to actually
If the
take it
demons
out. Maybe
succeed,
we just
Where's
threaten
their next
the eye.
destination?
The city that we're going to. And
Yeah, and then-
there
then
go
where's-
additional chaos.
And then they do that 7 more times, and then where is it?
What are the chances?
It's
Seven
our
more
home.
times. I mean,
I will
Oh,
remind
They have to go
us,
the other way.
Heidi know this quite intimately.
I don't know. They
I'm
take
sure
over
I've
whole
said this
planes,
before.
but then they go on to another one.
If we were to disperse this blessing of Zariel, we may draw her ire. We may also draw the ire of other archdukes who might be watching. But particularly, Zariel, the vengeful fallen,
She's
would
probably
be
a
I just pull my hood up a
Difficult.
little further and a little tighter.
That's not to say that
So
she
we
will
don't get
find
caught.
us, but
So we don't get caught.
exactly.
I mean, honestly, at this point, it seems that our best option is to do something to cause a distraction and not get caught passing to the next layer.
Or we could just hire a boatman. We got like 14 coins.
But we have, but we are still trying to extricate ourselves from this layer without arising suspicion to the next one.
On a boat. On a boat where
But
we
that's,
have no suspicion because all the boats are fine.
But we have to get through the fort to do that.
How
we just wear cloaks.
How close do?
Maybe we don't need to go through the fort.
It's like body to body. They're checking your paperwork as you
It's
go
kinda
through a
not.
little door.
It's like there's definitely a procession of groups of people, but it's like kind of little itty bitty clusters or like one or two off. Some of them are walking devils. Some of them are shackled humanoids. Some of them are other like sort of like crazy hunched over beings. It's hard to see from this side. They look kind of like hags. It's a lot of like baddies that are making their way through.
So, potentially, if we just let the baddies lead the path.
In what way do you?
I'm not a baddie in this scenario,
In
however.
the
Someone
wearing
would need
way.
to put me in the bag of holding. I'm gonna set off an alarm if I walk through there or something.
So. Sorry, never mind.
It doesn't look like the.
How far does your time blink magic work?
It's not a time. It's specifically
You disappear
distance.
one place and you appear. How far can you do that? And you have to.
I can do 500 feet with another individual. Although there are
And-
spells that allow for a further limit to travel.
And you don't think
And you have to be able to
devils
see
would
this
have-
space.
I have to be able to. I have to be able to describe this space within a 500-foot circumference.
Can only take one person.
I know.
I can only take one person with me.
It could
One
be
person or
wise
one
What if-
bomb.
to get a bit more information, possibly get close if we have a
Do we
way
have
to use
disguises of any kind? Or?
Would there be any way that like
We could
some
potentially
people try to
disguise
actually
the
gain
vehicle.
entry and go through in the boat, while another two take out the eye and then just go to the boat? And we
Can
go
I
through.
estimate the distance between the blessings and the fort?
Because what if
So
someone took Grudj up there?
it's all
and
kind
then
of
you
one and
blink
the
yourself
same.
into the boat?
It looks like the easiest way I can describe it is that the two sort of like the twin towers
Everybody else
of
tries to
Fort
actually disguise
Firespit
or go
are
through
almost
and
like
set that up for people to catch up
lighthouses
from causing a
that
distraction.
cast lights.
They're
from these twin
above
Or like-
the fort.
Yeah, they're at the
itself.
top of the
Distraction
spire.
Okay.
Everyone
I guess
else is trying
I
to
was
disguise
misunderstanding. I thought they were on
negotiate
a
or go
different
through on a
location.
boat.
No, they're kind of like
They're
they're at
They're
the top
get
of
within
through.
the
yeah.
wall themselves.
And then
So
people
the
just need a
closest
way
tower is
to
like about
join up with the
like
rest.
I guess like 200
This could
feet
maybe
taller
work.
than the other
Also
one.
scary.
Okay.
So they're at a bit of an opposition.
Oh my god!
Sure.
But yeah,
They might actually have a good plan for once.
It might be. It
They're
might
at
be
the
the
pinnacle
plan.
of
That
this.
might.
If he can go that far.
and they're guarded. They're sort of like in these stone gazebos at the top.
Oh, do they look attended?
You don't know. It's hard to see from this vantage, and also the staring directly into the light. It's almost blinding how bright they burn.
I kind of want to stare at them.
Okay. How long do you want to stare at them?
No!
What did you say Ulara was gonna do for us?
Well, Ulara
Ulara could do?
is our Mariloth that has connections before. Candlekeep likes to keep records of people we've worked with in other expeditions, and there was an abyssal raid. One of my friends, Led, who worked with this, and we sent message to meet them in hell, but there's no guarantee that they're going to be here. But it's a safe bet rather than to know someone than to not know them. Mariloth tend to be less biased, though. I will say that it's not that they're not
They're
trustworthy.
neutral.
It's if you pay the fare and if you
The
don't rock the boat, then
Ah,
safe travel is yours.
Interesting.
the fair is spoken?
It depends on the plier.
I don't know.
So I'm too far away to see if I can figure out
No.
which aura is which from each of these beacons.
I'm gonna go
It's a little difficult.
over by
We're-
Yeah, I will
we're
say
far
that
away.
it's gonna be you're gonna have to make a move before you get just information.
Yeah, we're far.
So what does it take to get through the river? Like, to take one of the boats, what do you need to get approved? Or to
Money.
go through?
Some sort of money.
Just like soul coins?
Soul coins, regular gold. I've had them take bribes with life before. People. Sometimes they'll take items.
Is that just the one you pick?
Anything interesting, basically?
Depends.
I
They have,
suppose
like,
it
a
would depend
menu?
on the individual that you're traveling with.
Usually, they'll take something they can use most. So, if they need to acquire a safer passage down below on their own, they may take soul coins over gold. It really depends.
So we have several people who can fly,
My wing's a little sore,
and
but
we have time
several.
magic.
Wait, who can fly?
I can fly. Is
I
that a
can,
Memnon?
I can carry individuals with
Memnon
us.
can fly. That's you.
You made me booties.
Do we notice, as this idea
So-
is floated, do we notice anyone taking the overhead?
What do you mean?
The
Is anyone
path?
trying to fly into the fort?
Yeah, do I see any big boy birds? Any
Oh,
flying
roll a quick
dogs?
perception sheet for
I don't
me.
know.
Can I join
You
you?
told us that there were
Can I-
guards at
can
the
I make
this
my
one
own?
was
I'll
the
say
guards
she has the
guys.
idea, but I think she
24.
Yeah. So now, right at this moment, you also see that there are several of these. You've seen them before, springagons that appear to sort of be perching on like the towers up at the top. A few of them have squabbles amongst themselves. It's while you're relatively distracted that you notice a huge burst from the river itself of fire. It's almost like an explosion of blood as the river sticks itself, like almost a piece. It's almost like dynamite sank down into the river and exploded.
Like a big bubble.
Okay.
Before you see the water, or the, I guess, ichor, begin to sort of take on this deeper crimson black hue, and then dissipate.
Does that seem like something pretty natural to occur in this area?
You hear a lot of the devils from the interior like scream in victory.
Interesting.
That must be how they fish.
I am kind of thinking we may need to get someone inside the city, at the very least.
I had a quick question.
Yeah.
If I look over at the bomb we made, about how heavy does it look?
That's about, like probably 300 pounds.
That's not too bad.
There's air in it though, and it is hermetically sealed.
I can carry 550.
Okay, so what?
I
Can bench 550.
can turn that 300 into far less.
Oh, that would work.
I just want to say, we have several people who can fly. What if while I can't. Okay, I don't have all the details. That's where you guys come in because you're smart. What if some people are trying to get through on a boat, trying to get passage or negotiate pay, whatever you have to do, whoever you have to talk to.
Yep.
While that's happening, someone takes out the eye.
Boat
It's
crew.
distracting.
Eye crew.
That boat gets through. Grudj time blinks whoever he's with down into the boat, and we're through.
Sounds like a plan.
Does that
If he can do that from that distance.
estimation
And if he can-
wise?
I don't know. I'm
And
not
if he
close
can
enough to estimate
see
the
the
distance
boat.
between the two places.
So we need
You'd have to
get
be able to
close.
see the
I
boat.
have to get closer.
Let's get more information.
Either way.
Sure. Also, I can breathe
I-
underwater.
You don't want to touch this.
This is
don't
not
touch
water.
this.
This
Do
is
not
not
touch
water.
this.
Just kidding.
I may
It's
preface this for anyone who does not know. Touching a droplet of the river Styx to any part of your body will ruin your mind in a way that you cannot recover from.
And tear your soul
It's a
apart.
good thing I got a scuba suit.
Peter,
It
did
will
one.
rot you from the inside.
What?
Peter, do
Okay.
not touch
Yeah,
it.
I've got a
Yeah.
hermetically sealed suit
That's
that
very
I
good
can
to
swim
know.
in.
I don't know things, but yeah, we might have to split up, or maybe get someone inside. Or some
Sounds like
people
there are a
try
lot
to
of
go
variables. Maybe we
Yes.
should get some more information.
We cannot make. I love that idea. Yes. But yes, we need more information before we can make a concrete
Do
plan.
we see another area we could like stop
I don't know
further
the
ahead?
details, but
I
I think we can make it happen. I just don't know how.
Does it seem like
perfect.
it's open road and then we're there? Like
So,
if
the
we lollygag?
The beauty of
It's gonna
this
be awkward.
fortress is that it is in such a sort of like flat area that it can see for miles
Yeah.
to this sort of like crater on all sides.
So
The
once
only
we
way you guys were able to get without detection is because you kind of came from a back angle towards a way that was already keeping you from being seen.
So from
Okay.
here, we're on high alert.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you think this was easy?
Okay, so how do we get more information? Do we send someone in to talk to somebody?
You could. I mean, you've been burrowing through the ground relatively easily.
Yes, I do have an individual. I do have a way to get us through the ground, but it's not myself.
Come on,
It's-
academics. Let's
it
use
is
our
a-
minds.
I can
I'm, like,
send
holding
I
a
can send
sword.
an elemental through the ground in order to
Can
entreat and listen.
Can the
It's
elemental
all- but
bring
it-
things with it? Like
It
if it's
cannot.
like carrying an item? No?
Not to my knowledge, no.
What if it tried? Like really hard?
I've always wanted to climb into the bag of holding and hold my breath
I was
for a
gonna
long
say,
time.
you know, that is also perhaps an option.
I feel like that's. I
Is
feel
some
good
people-
about that, actually.
We could make
really-
the car invisible.
Ooh,
We could
that's
I
make
also
the vehicle
like pipes
individual.
up
We've
back.
Ooh.
done something similar with it as well.
What's a car? We could make the device.
What if we gave
That's
the
why I
car
said
some
vehicle.
spider climb? And we just drove up the wall.
that would work.
I mean,
That
honestly,
would be
we could
fun.
just cast flying on the vehicle again. Somebody else cast invisibility, and we can just fly over the city itself.
I worry about getting too
Potentially.
close.
The only thing that makes me worried there is the fact that it is known to some academic circles that these boons from the Lady Zariel
I'm worried.
are established to weed out individuals who are not meant to pass to the next layer.
I'm
I
worried
don't
about.
imagine that a vehicle from this layer of hell is meant to pass into Dis.
Well,
We could
try.
well, I mean, your whole plan hinges on the idea that we know which one's making the protection spell. So maybe determining what the protection
Which one
is,
is which.
and
We
then
talk a
which
guard.
one's
And
which.
quite frankly, is it better to get rid of the protection spell and have a bunch of devils swarming the next layer with us, or do we get rid of the erosion spell
Could we test which one is
and
which
remove
by triggering
and-
them
We might be able
in a
to.
small way?
Throw a pebble.
An experiment?
What are you thinking?
Well, okay. So what do both of them do? One of them moves the. You said one something
One
about
of
shining
them-
light
One of
and
them
protecting.
casts light on the area on the ground, keeping it from eroding. So essentially, keeping the river from shifting
Kind of goes in.
and
straight.
making a different path. So
What's
it makes
the other
essentially
one?
this a place
It
where the
makes
river has to pass.
this location a constant?
It locks it in place. What
Yeah.
does the other one do?
The other one, Amemnon said, probably provides some sort of protection to keep creatures from just freely going through this fortress.
So should we test it by sending something disposable, or that, you know, like or Sulu, or does it have to be alive for it to be stopped? Or like you said, that maybe the vehicle would get stopped. So can we test this? Can we send
Sixer,
something
what are
through
you
and see what happens without it being traced to us?
As he's like got to.
Continuing to look.
see
spy
what,
glasses
see what it
in
will
each
do.
hand.
Does it zap it? Does it set it on
Right.
fire? What
I
does
think
it
it's
do?
a fire thing.
And
You
looks
know?
like anything who might be alive is the ones that get burned.
So if you send an object,
Because the only ones that are going through just fine are ones with like big boxes and other stuff, crates, barrels.
do
There's
they
one
check the
that
crates and boats?
seemed to just be bickering with the what is that called? The Merman?
The
Yep.
Law?
That one. He he burst into flames when he went through.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Was that one
So if
Vander
we-
shaped?
If we sent the bag of holding in
No,
a boat
I didn't see it.
with people in it, would they check the bag of holding?
That's
I sort of have an
Unless
idea,
there's a
but I'm
distraction
checking.
to keep them from checking.
But that
the
is a
bag.
bummer because we all are alive. So that's a problem.
I don't have much prepared today other than tongues that would assist with our passage through this next phase.
I
But
can
tongues is
speak.
good because then you can.
I think
talk.
it is safe to assume that the protections, at the very least, are able to keep demonic energies.
I would hope so. And which is why I think maybe taking out the boon that would cement this location in the river's journey potentially would be of greater help to us
That's what I
than
said.
a
Gotta
defense
figure out which
against
one's
those
which.
demonic creatures.
Start moving the river.
I just came out with an
'Cause-
idea.
What if we moved the river and then we could take the river?
But it could take days. What if Vander already made it?
Oh shit! Forgot about Vander. How's Vander doing this?
That's a good
How's
question.
Vander doing it?
Did he know any of the
He
details
has an
of our...
ability to disguise himself. He has the
So do
disguise
we?
self ability.
I understand.
Well, we have a couple
I don't.
ways to do that.
It would probably be easier to get one person through than a group of 5. There's a larger detection issue
Through the river or through the fortress?
through the fortress.
Through the fortress.
I'm not gonna lie, Vander seems a little evil.
What do we do?
How-
But what do we do once we go? That person that's going in the fortress. What is their goal? What are they trying to do once we send someone through?
Making it to the Morella.
It seems that there's
contact.
It seems that there's sort of a security process happening
Yes.
here. They dock just to down upriver of the fortress. Any creatures who are not able to pass, who have sense amongst their brains, get off, process through the fortress, and then I would assume come out the other side.
That's what we would do. We would be those...
In reverse.
We could, if our intentions were pure enough not to steal something from the next layer.
I'm not technically stealing it.
I have no interest in stealing. I just didn't.
Oh, really? He sort of flashes the contract that
I-
drops down.
I
We
said that I
agreed
would
to-
assist you in the completion
What
of
are we
your
stealing?
task.
Is it stealing if it already
And my
belongs to our?
task is to recover the prophecy.
Is it
Oh,
stealing if it
so we
belongs
do-
to our plane?
Regardless, I'm sure the devils might not think
Oh, it's
one way or
stealing
the
to
other
them.
about stealing
Okay.
from them. We could disguise ourselves. That's definitely an option.
That sounds good to me because I'm nervous about anyone looking
I
too
have
closely
no
at
capability
me.
of doing
and
so
my
myself.
lineage.
Do you think we might have to split up to make it
Two
more
smaller
discreet?
groups.
So,
Send one person or like a couple people up there, couple people in the boat, couple. Oh, shit.
Let's say these conversations are happening as we're.
Yeah.
I think we're hitting a wall.
I have an idea.
If
We need.
Remember that?
right now we have several inklings of a plan.
You know what? I'm just gonna start doing the thing. So, I walk over to where we have the bomb.
Where are you going? What
is the
Going over to the vehicle,
Peter.
and I
Where
pull
are you
out the
going?
portable hole.
Peter.
I lay it down underneath the bomb, and I pull the lever, and the chain drops the bomb into the portable hole, and I
You're
start
sort of
holding
soft,
it up.
like
You just hear Spixer going, no!
And then I take the folded piece of cloth and I hand it to Sulu, and then I tuck Sulu in my pocket, and I'm like, now Sulu can fly it wherever we need it to go.
Okay, so we got a to-go bomb.
I
gotta-
forgot
It's
about the
not the
portable
most
hole. Can
stealthy
someone jump
individual.
into that from
Use
a
it if he's
really
invisible.
high
I think we
altitude?
could have, but now there's a bomb in it.
I was
That
going
was
to
a bomb.
say that most of these plans hinge on more information.
Yes.
If we were to go with yours, which would be eliminating one of the boons, the boon of protection, or of maintaining this erosion, eliminate that and then pass through, we would still need to know what it is that we're going to do. Burrowing, similar tactics. We don't know what they have
Or
inside.
overhead.
I mean, quite frankly, if we were to burrow, it would be us following an earth elemental who burrows, albeit quickly for his own individual sake, burrows quite slowly when we then include 7 people following them.
Also, doesn't he like not burrow?
I don't think there's any harm
He does, like,
in
an
going
earthly
towards
thing?
that
Yeah.
port, though.
He can.
Should
There
we
is
send
no
someone
hole.
He
inside?
can burrow.
And whoever's
Earth
not
glide
inside,
is a
we
trait
test
he can use.
Okay.
those
So
two
he's got both. He's got
eyes
burrow
by trying to
speed.
send.
Yes.
We
Okay.
could something
they're
to
the
like
same speed,
people
but-
stay behind and try
Oh, that's
to
not so bad.
test the boat situation.
Peter
or
could
the
be on the
eyes
outside of
and
the
someone else
vehicle.
goes
We're
in.
also
And we could be
overlooking the
inside.
celestial touch.
Why am I on the outside?
What?
We're also overlooking the celestial touch to them.
You want to sit in the
Yeah,
portable
I've
hole with the
been-
bomb?
I've been
Celestial
quietly
being.
saying that I think I'm a liability for the last 30 minutes. I just wanna identify that
Oh, they don't like you.
I will be a problem for
No,
you
they
guys
don't like
at some point.
Valenccya.
in our trip.
I have an
Well,
idea.
we're used to you being a problem for
Yes.
us.
But they're gonna
We
have
still
more
got that
of a
portable hole,
So you
Full
have
of
to
a
stay
bomb.
on the outside
and we
or
can
we
put
sneak through.
people in it
So
with
you're
the
one of the
bomb.
ones that
It's
have
wouldn't
to
be able to
definitely-
breathe.
10
We're gonna have
minutes,
straw
outside
minutes per
of the
one
plan.
person, which is divided in
I
half.
can.
Which
I
doesn't
can-
mean not included, but just means
Yeah.
But
Not-
I could
the
also
party
like
that
pump
goes
some
in.
air into it every once in a while
I
too.
could-
no, you cannot.
Well, if I just
Fly
open
goes
it,
to
it like
the
resets it, right?
Wait.
Yes.
Who had? This is. I was gonna say this is.
Also, I'm gonna
So-
I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of context above game 2, just so you have at your disposal all the information, because I think this is readily available for the situation. What's happening here is pretty much like a vetting at the TSA. Like
Yeah,
they
this
are
just
making
show me your
sure-
laptop.
airport.
Exactly. They're taking
Yeah.
in these pliers that need to get to lower levels and making sure that they mitigate any risk of creatures that they don't want lower down there. Now, there are travelers that go to Dis all the time, whether or not they just teleport there through some sort of back-end entrance or this way. You would assume that they have some agreement to get there.
Okay.
So the interior of this fortress, you can't really pick out exactly what's going to happen, but you would assume that there's some sort of trade and processing thing that is going on. Like they're probably inspecting these boats, they're probably getting people back onto boats, making sure they know what's going on. There's a whole process of like security going on here. Yeah.
How many bags of holding or like equipment do we have?
Switcher says, I got one.
Okay, 1,
I
2,
got.
3.
You have one. I have a haversack and a portable.
Well, the
hole.
haversack is not. The portable hull is the more important thing. So we
Alicia
have.
had one.
I can carry
Good
all
for
the
her.
bags.
I have one.
I have another question. Don't we have a fold-up boat?
We do.
What
however,
happens when
we
one
cannot,
climbs with the boat and folds the boat? Just one get
die.
folded with the boat?
You die.
Oh.
Well, no, not for that. But could that boat touch the river Styx?
Yeah.
That's also.
I
an
have a
idea.
boat.
That's what. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We
have a boat.
But we don't have a
we
lantern.
don't have a Marinaloth. We don't have the lantern.
We
that
are not a
keeps this
Marinaloth.
river
But
Yeah.
what
safe.
about Alara?
Do you think a
Laura is
Renaloth
Renaloth.
would be into
Right.
a magical
Yeah.
boat?
think we
That's
have
like
to get
laser
Alara.
removal
We
boat?
have-
I mean, we have not used said magical boat.
Right.
I'm
That's what I'm
just
saying.
saying.
Like, maybe
We have
Maybe
a boat.
they-
That's
a
another
magical
thing to
boatman would be
consider.
like,
is
"That's
that
a
we've
fancy
got a
boat.
fold-up
They
boat.
probably
take
wouldn't
that
like
boat
her striking
and I'll
out
take
on
you
her
through
own.
it.
I'm
I mean,
listing.
it can get
No, like
to
a strong
Nuanen's
nearly
listing
listing
alien
things
size.
doesn't know how to
That's what I'm saying.
connect
You
it,
might be
but
into
she's
it.
listing things that could be
If
very
my whole
useful
life
to
was
us.
fair.
I'm imagining our idea.
Would
We
an
have a
Marinaloth be interested in purchasing a foldable boat?
I was thinking we used the boat, but
Yeah,
okay.
but
I
we
think we
can't
might
get
be
through the gate.
Let's Sphinx, get into position. Let's all get in
We're
the
gonna drive the car up,
in
yep.
the vehicle.
Okay. Maybe they'll just let us.
Let's
through if
make
we
our
give
way
them
to the
something.
port first and see if there's, I don't know, a way to even get in contact with someone.
And if
Let's
anyone,
talk to some
Unless
Renaloths.
anyone has a better idea.
I
if
don't.
it all goes belly up, I'll jump in a bag. And
I
someone
think-
has to get me
I think
out
we
in
for
5
sure
minutes.
disguise this one.
Yeah, I'm.
You put
Yes.
it too much.
Yeah. Through like the little.
Would you like to stay in the car?
Yes, please.
Leave the windows cracked so she can have.
Yeah, I cracked the window.
It gets hot.
There's like a little school locker. We just jam Val into it.
Yeah.
I get all the way in the back. And
Peter,
try
what were
hard.
you saying about
Does
putting
anyone
me in
have alter
shackles?
self for you?
I was thinking
Like
maybe
a prisoner
disguising ourselves
situation.
as
I thought
like
that would
slaves and then going through that way.
And making it seem like
I'll-
you're transporting somebody.
I can
Yeah,
put
like
on
we
some.
become cargo.
I believe I have manacles from.
Well,
hell
what
a
if
long
we
time
look
ago.
like we're transporting her
Ollie's
because they don't
playing
like
now.
Hi,
Celestials?
Ollie. Welcome to the
Well,
game.
Man, I'm just full of ideas today.
That's so good. Yeah, I will. As I get back in the car, I'll
I do
tear
think-
through my.
I don't know how to do it, but I can remind us of what we have at our leverage.
Shortboard, or short sword, short bow, rusty halberd.
Shoreborough.
But yeah, I just wanted to say we have that fold-up boat, you know.
It's a cat party, a cat party, got a cat party on the table.
Oh, I just realized you can see the monitor too.
Look at all the kitties.
Me too.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I
Let's
take
go.
out. I have
I agree
Okay.
with you.
2 sets of manacles. I'll put one around me and not link it shut.
Guile's going to say, let me try something. And she's going to sort of like flash her eyes. You see her eyes go almost like transparent. Like you can see the blackness of the back of her skull for a moment.
Oh, your brain is really
before
great.
she touches the wall, and the entire you see sort of like a shimmer extend from her fingertips all over the vehicle. She's casting invisibility on the vehicle itself, like you guys did with Fly, to try and make it invisible.
Hell yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna go inside of it. Can you see me?
How many fingers are you
Yes.
holding up?
You're looking through the window.
Is it
There's
3?
no.
No.
Kyle,
Oh my God.
Memnon, and Peter, could we have you 3 potentially head up
Yeah.
the communication with the outside world?
I can head up the communication, Heidi says.
Oh, so sweet.
You don't have horns.
Oh, also, I should have let you all know, if you do need, I'm so sorry, Mama, I should have said this earlier. If you do need to send through a message, or you do want to communicate with anyone else, I've already debriefed about how it works in the Hells, but I do have this cipher here. And she like pulls out a little piece of paper that says, if you need to send a message, you're gonna want to sort of mix up the words to the point using these simple rules, just to make sure that anyone listening in doesn't quite understand what you're saying. What this is essentially doing above game is when you cast Ascending either through Heidi or through your own while using this.
Beta, go lay down.
There's too many things going on.
Been blessed with a bean.
Bean,
You can
go lay down.
Beebo,
Hi, beans.
Oh, she's upset. You can roll for it to be roll a stealth check to make sure that it's not picked up,
I like
but
that.
it halves the amount of words you can use.
Okay.
So instead of 25, it's 12. Sure.
Easy. I don't know how that works.
We sneak forward.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Let's
off
go,
to the,
David.
we're
I'm
going
gonna
to the
say
port, right?
the car is gonna go. Or the car, God, I'm just gonna call it a car.
It's a car.
The car is gonna go half
It's a
speed, just to maintain stealth, and whoever is driving it will roll for it. So just make sure that that happens.
I can give you the help action
We
by
have advantage,
perceiving. I can
We're
give you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that works. I was just gonna say I was gonna try to perceive threat, like backseat drive, and try to give you advantage. Hey, Peter,
I'm
watch
just
out!
gonna-
Hey! There comes a little imp. He's coming in on your left. You got an imp on your starboard.
25.
25. Lovely, lovely. I love it so much. Perfect.
I'm gonna be ready to snap manacles closed on my hands, just in case.
Someone comes to investigate.
Yeah.
Not to waste more time, but as we're driving,
Yeah.
Nuanen
Slow
asks
and
again,
steady towards
so
this
how is Vander doing this?
I think-
Do we have a guess of how he's doing it?
He can disguise himself.
So he is just going through like the normal procedure.
I would assume that his intentions are so far gone that he might
Bypass.
be trying to use some wild antics to get through this.
Because what I'm wondering is if we
We're risking
are
more
there in
lives.
time, depending on what he's doing, we could maybe use if he causes a distraction to our advantage, or if he's causing trouble.
Or if we cause an issue, we could cause him an issue.
Guys,
Exactly.
would
Or
you
like
mind checking in with our friend? And she sort of says, yes. Her eyes go a similar blue.
I had thought about.
I'm
as
just saying if
she,
he's already here,
begins to cast her second
that
spell.
could be another variable.
I'll break off a tiny piece of wisteria that was Vander's, and
She's
I'll.
like absentmindly like holding
Yeah,
out.
I
her
just
hand
I like poke it into her,
as she grabs it and sort of like rubs it between her fingers.
trying to make it easier for her.
He's moving. It's a rush. He
Is there
seems to be far off. I don't know. It's
Blood.
only focused-
blood on his face still?
Yeah. Dried.
This is Guile looking at Vander.
It's too fast to see, but he seems to be
moving very fast.
covered in something. Like a blood rain.
So he's probably not in the castle.
He might be past.
Can I make
Sort of like she's just kind of looking around as you guys are.
Yeah, like clearly not seeing
Yeah.
the
Can
same.
I make an Arcana or History check if something, if anything in my studies had mentioned something similar?
Yeah.
He's not here.
Roll.
Like just like talking about how he's covered
No,
in a
she's
blood rain.
crying.
Roll. I'm
It's
saying
rain.
like she sees it like spattering on his face, like it's
Yeah.
he's in like a rainstorm.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I was gonna say is like I misunderstood then. If it's,
No, you're okay.
If it's something, I thought it was like
I was just
she's
trying
like
to
it's
figure out
something
if
that is
he's
following
here
him to
or if
obscure
we
him.
Oh
can
no,
hear
no.
Okay.
if
It's
hear
it's
how
a
he's
localized
getting
effect
through
that
and
she
if he
can't
can go
see what it
faster or
is, and
not.
she just sees
Sure.
the effect.
You know,
of
she-
fire.
Sure. Okay.
She, yeah.
Or if he's already through. But
It sounds like.
okay.
Does anyone see? Can anyone see like a storm on the distance?
I take north, you take south.
Absolutely. I'm
We
going
peek.
to use Reggie to
Boom, bam!
help me out.
Everybody looks.
That a crit?
They're the crit.
I'm not gonna roll.
Please roll. I want to see it.
Okay.
My beautiful dice.
I'm not gonna hit a nat 20.
I said these dice are nice.
That's good. I'm glad.
15.
No, it's a 5 and a 7.
I love that.
Whoops.
You're looking at clear skies. You do see off in the distance to downriver. It's got to be miles off because this sort of like tumultuous sea of blackened, like smoky sky that hangs above Avernus as a threat.
It was really good.
It was tasty. Yeah.
There is a really, really dark area that appears to be coalescing. You can see it just sort of almost like doesn't look like to the naked eye it wouldn't appear any different than the sky itself
But
because
it's
it
a
is
little
so
hazy.
close to that ridge line to the sort of like northwest of this crater and it's got to be like miles off, but there is a storm off in that direction downriver.
Point with my sword at it, like it's over there.
Yeah.
There's the sword.
Both of you
There's
guys.
storm.
Reggie and I are just facing the other direction. I don't.
Grudge over
I-
here.
The weather, like over there, it looks like a beautiful spring.
Yeah, it's
day
weird. It almost looks
in
like a
hell.
Faerun
It's
sunset
just
over
a
there.
fucking-
It's a beautiful
There's
day.
just sun dogs and shit over
Hey,
there.
Grudge
for a
over
moment,
here.
for
Oh,
a brief,
there!
for a brief moment, like Christians believing in God. I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry. I just think of my family in Iowa and I say some shit.
I am not offended.
The sort of like the cloud cover breaks
You
for a
hear
brief
the
moment.
angelic chorus.
No, like exactly. That sort of like ray. You know that in
Yeah.
those paintings where there's that like ray of life that like hits the ground, and it like creates
Really
this beautiful
terrible
moment where you
pictures.
know that like he's watching.
There's a naked person
You're
coming
like
down.
actually. That's
Simba.
gorgeous. Seconds before a meteor
Oh.
shoots through that opening.
I have a
and
new.
impacts the
There's just a
ground.
moment before the meteor comes through. I have a new understanding of the divine.
Yeah, beautiful. Oh no, that was
That's
just a
great,
meteor. Oh.
I love you and I'm so sorry.
What? Oh no worries.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
It was
Okay.
It was funny.
Was
And
it?
that's my job, folks, being funny.
How far are we from the port?
I'm gonna say you're getting close. It's
Okay.
about
Yeah.
a half mile off, but in the direction towards this, rainstorm, there are these this sort of weird, like rapids-esque series of waterfalls from the crater that lead down into this thing, and you do see one of the boats that crests over the top of it, almost defying gravity, sort of
Slowly?
slowly making its way
With people
down
inside?
with
Cargo?
before getting into the ground and then going forward. And it's like in this weird bubble of safety.
Of like calm river
Yeah.
calmness.
Of
Yes.
the green. I mean, we could take our own boat over. I just have a feeling that our descent will not be as peaceful.
controlled.
I don't know what it is that makes
I
me
was-
feel that way.
I was just saying that we have a boat in case. Just like.
Oh no, I
have
agree. I agree. It's an option.
We whip it out at the last
I think.
minute.
What are we
Yeah.
whipping out?
Wait, what out?
Wait, hang
Surprise
on. What am
boat.
I whipping out?
Surprise boat. Our last resort is surprise boat.
Ah, surprise boat.
Sure,
And
yeah.
we've got secret bomb, surprise boat.
Okay.
I would say it's beginning to get to the point where you're starting to see the full breadth of this little port. It's almost like a would-be shackle like community. There's some structures there out of bone and lumber that appears to kind of like be like have like draped skins that are billowing in the breeze. There are a number of like humanoids, mostly humanoids in this area. That appear to be milling about, talking, trading, sort of like, getting their chuckles in before they have to start walking a mile down towards this fort. But yeah, as you go, I will say anybody who wants to make a sort of like look in a direction or get some more information, you may speak now.
I got a quick
Ready
question.
for advantage.
What are you looking at?
I'm just trying to get an idea of if as we're getting closer, I want to know the distance between the towers and the river,
Hell yeah.
and if possible, I'd like to see if there are security measures over the river. I want to see how stringent they are. Those are the two things I'm looking for.
Okay. I'm gonna say since this is like, since it's mostly in like an intelligence-based like math equation for the first part,
Sure.
I'll give you investigation.
Perfect.
Do you
Anybody
have
else?
to go
I would like to
with
see
when
how
you
you
do
get-
Dimension Door?
I sure do.
Okay, so are we driving up to just like go right into the castle, or do you have to be in a boat?
You guys are
Go-
going to that sort of port.
Go to the
down
boat, get in a boat, go through the boat, then stop, get into the castle. Is that how it works?
So
Yeah,
it's
there's,
actually the
You
opposite.
have to get in a boat.
The opposite.
Oh,
So
okay.
everybody is kind of arriving by boat, getting off the boat at the port, walking to this fort, and then reconnecting with the boat in the inside.
Getting back in a boat
Yes,
on the other
and
side.
then traveling down. You would assume.
So for the
downriver.
first part, can you skip the boat and just go in, or do we
Yeah,
have
you
to get
absolutely can.
into a boat and then
No.
go
you can,
2 feet, get out of the boat? You know what I mean?
You can
Like,
absolutely go towards the fort.
So we just need.
just on your own.
So we can just try to. I'm just saying people can go on foot and
Yeah,
be like, I would like to go to the next layer of hell.
Yes.
Please.
You can politely ask for sure.
I just mean like people who are approved. You know,
Yeah.
do they accept walkers?
They do accept walk-ins.
Walk-ins. Yeah.
Okay, so you're rolling for
Okay.
A
that.
total of 19.
19. Sounds good. I'm gonna get. Oh, actually, did anybody else have anything they'd like to observe? So
I-
I want to do
that
this
had
in
to do
one
with my question.
big old package.
I
Just
think-
visually, I want to know,
Yeah.
is the vehicle invisible on the inside too?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, can we see everywhere?
No.
I am looking out for like Zariel to be at the top of the tower, looking down.
Okay, that sounds great. Give me a perception check. 19.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll wait till.
Okay, 19. The distance from the pinnacle of the tower to the north, which is the lower of the two towers, is going to be a drop of about, I would say, probably 500 to 600 feet with the accuracy of your knowledge towards the river. It's hard to see because there is
So,
a
like
30-foot wall.
diagonally, it's about 500 to 600 feet. Or is
Oh,
it 500 to 600 feet down? Straight?
Directly down. So
Okay.
it would be more
I
to
cannot
teleport
dimension
this
door
way.
between the two.
You can get close.
Tall.
I will also say, because you're at this vantage, you can see the river plainly, and you can see where it goes into this fortress, and it's for the first time that you can kind of see how it works.
Yeah.
So this this sort of stone and iron wall that that crosses the river itself has this, I guess, like forked like fencing
Sure.
that crosses the river itself. There's these almost like wicked arches with these spines that are set about 10 feet across, like hairs of like teeth of a comb that dig their way into the river and connect with the wall of the border wall. On top of it, there are devils posted, sort of like hanging on to these wicked iron spires, looking at the pliers as they pass through these gaps, these 10-foot gaps. What's most notable, though, is almost like a curtain of shimmering flame descends between those spines and crosses like a waterfall over these boats as they go in. And by and large, there's nothing that's affecting them. It's almost like they're just like crossing through a
spell
fiery
detector?
veil. Yeah,
They're like a spell disperser.
yeah.
Nothing seems to be happening though.
Nuanen wouldn't know that, but
Yeah.
Amber knows that.
What did you roll?
Oh, for looking for Zariel, 25. I put or other authority figure. I'm just
Okay.
like, I'm looking for like, who's gonna clock me?
I'm gonna say your eyes sort of gaze directly up at these lighthouses, these boons, and it is very, very bright.
I can stare at the
However,
sun.
on the northmost one, there appears to be this sort of like moat of shadow that crosses in front of the light, and you see, since you have a very precise vision, the sort of silhouetted figure of this, I guess, like fat tombstone-esque looking creature with these stibbly goddamn little wings up its back as it passes between these the two sort of like pillars of a gazebo.
That guy's in charge.
Ah.
My brain just turned. Like,
I
just,
would
Yeah.
My imagination.
I would like to look at the river and like see if there is potentially, because you said there was like a what is it, like a wall or like a barricade or whatever. I would just like to take note of like if there is anything that can be knocked over onto the river.
Like temporary bridge.
Just wondering.
Give me a perception.
I'm wondering if
Give me a little
bleeding
perception
tree.
check.
for the sake of like, you know, since I knocked a pillow or a marble over once,
Yeah.
just wondering if like beams or any of this fort or that wall can be knocked down. If there looks like there's anywhere joints, anywhere you can hit shit into the river.
So
Sounds good.
Or to block
roll
the
a
river.
perception check for me.
just, you know,
And then
Option for
I don't want to
temporary
cut
bridge.
you off. You were saying something before.
I was just saying that when you described the enemy, my brain jumped to the Mario creature that's just stubby legs and a giant rock that falls on things.
That's it. Yeah.
I did think to
That's the
myself,
one.
he can't
He just falls
possibly
off the
fly
tower.
with us.
He doesn't have stubby
I-
legs. He has stubby little wings.
I was going to ask as
Decorative.
well, with the notation of that arcane
No.
arch or that veil, is that the next layer, or is it just like the passage point between this?
Yeah. So essentially, it's like a curtain that you pass under to get into the fort, and then you would assume there's probably a similar structure on the other side you haven't seen. There's gotta be something over there, but you haven't seen it.
Sure. But I guess I'm just asking, is the next layer in the fort, or is the next layer outside of the
Oh,
fort?
the next
You're
layer
just
of hell?
passing it through. Yeah.
Oh, it is beyond this area.
Okay,
past
so
the river
I guess what I'm
surface.
asking is, say, for example, someone were to have a dimension door and were to pile all of their friends into a basket and then tie the basket and then dimension door the said basket onto a boat that had already passed through the fort, would that potentially work?
I don't know. You could try.
Could I make
That
a
sounds
check?
like an okay
What kind of
idea.
check do you want to make?
Arc-
I'll hop in the basket.
Insight, Arcana?
Oh.
Do we see any?
I got a 16.
To determine if it could work? Roll an
Yes.
Arcana check.
Arcana? Okay.
Got a 16.
Can I have Reggie help?
Yeah. Well, no, he's not versed in Arcana.
I have a weird graphic
Okay.
design
That's
question.
very true.
You
He's
can't
not.
do this stuff.
I have a weird
Yeah.
graphic.
He's not.
Like,
Um,
are there like wayfinding signs in Infernal?
No.
Things that I can do.
Is it like
Potentially.
this way to this, or like this way?
Oh,
Yes,
I need a
check
different
in.
dice.
In
or
fact,
like,
at this point, you see sort of a Mariloth kick somebody off, who like goes in, who's been
Okay,
like
we're gonna
clinging
give it
to
a shot.
the boat,
oh, okay.
and
Any other
Arcana.
humanoids?
Whoa.
yeah, there's a bunch.
But all
I
can't help you.
enslaved.
There's some of them, yeah, for sure.
Or
There's several of them that
I
are
can give you a
shackled.
+5.
They
What's your
appear
rating
to
plus?
be
Give you a
mostly
+5.
older
Okay.
individuals.
Plus
They're of. I mean, you've seen this race
So 22.
maybe once or
22,
twice
yeah.
before, but they look avian
Do you have
in
enough?
nature.
Yeah, I still got.
There's a
more
few
left
other ones.
After
Sounds
the
good.
one I
There's
just
also
used
some
through
rather
Sounds good. Think
unseedy
about it.
creatures that are like huddled into these
Can't
their own like
quite tell what they are.
yeah, like
Okay.
their own trappings. Look a little dangerous. There's some devils flitting about.
22.
22. You can definitely pull off that spell for sure. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
It would go off without a hitch.
I guess the Arcana check was, am I going to make it to the next layer or am I going to be stopped? if I
You're gonna
do
make
that?
it to the boat for sure.
Okay.
And the boat's already on the other side.
Where do you think you're going?
Where are we going?
Where are we going?
I thought this plan was to teleport
I was like,
through
okay,
the
cool.
wall.
So
Go
we
into the
pass.
city of
So
Disney.
I can go to the top of the wall and go. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go to that boat.
Yes. You can do that.
Wait, I might be
The spell can go off like that, yeah.
I might be confused because I thought we were heading away from the fortress.
You're okay.
I thought we were heading to the
going
port.
to the port.
I thought we were going to the port, which is like 2 miles away from the fortress.
Henry Patrick.
I'm gonna explain this again. The fortress sits on the river Styx. The fortress is here. Up where you are at this port, is sort of that flat area just before the fortress to the west. That's where everyone's getting off and going to the fortress. You haven't seen the river on the other side because it descends into the soft limestone and goes deeper and deeper into what is you would assume is like sort of a rapids-esque canyon on the other side of the fort. That's where all of the people who are coming through the fort are leaving. They're sort of going out the other side and going further into the river Styx, which you would assume is on a downward descent to the next level.
Okay, so we are getting closer. Okay. What was your plan?
Sorry,
Oh,
the vibes are off. What's up?
I had a perception check.
Yes, go
a long
ahead.
time ago. I was trying to see as we got closer if there looks like there is anything like just around that can be
Yes,
collapsed
yes.
or like
What did you
potentially collapsed or knocked into the river.
What'd you get?
Fuck, what was it? It was a 16, I think. Is that what I told you?
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a 16 perception.
Nah.
Okay.
Is what I rolled.
The only structures that would be able to be knocked in would be these
Just like stuff that can be
standing
knocked.
structures on the harbor. You could easily send, like, if you were to do enough damage, you could take out the sort of wooden dockages that are there to make some sort of like dam or breakage that would stop the flow of the river in front of it. The iron of those sort of like teeth-like
Sounds really
cones
dangerous.
is very sturdy, and the blocks that stand to keep you from the
Being a
inside on that sort of barricade wall are about
Good girl.
5 feet
Do you wanna go
thick of
outside?
solid stone.
Sure. Okay.
This fortress is meant to
That's
stand
it.
the test of time.
So should we send somebody in?
Sort of like the idea you had. I'd be okay snuggling in the portable hole when you teleported us in.
Wait, what?
That was the wizard's plan. We
So,
all just
going
snuggle in the
off-
She
hole.
looks at you.
Going off of your idea, Peter has a portable hole. I could put as many of you as can fit without dying within a minute, which is a thing. But then I could teleport myself to said boat, where presumably another member of our group would be waiting.
I feel like we could last a long time.
But you would have to go inside though.
that is
I would have to go-
interesting plan.
I would have to go to the top of the next barricade myself. It's a spell that I have, and I hope that maybe somebody else has that as well.
We could hit you up with a bunch of spells: invisibility, haste, whatever you want, and then we would all just bank on you
Hi,
succeeding.
do you know Dimension Door? I think so. Who's your character sheet?
We gave all the character sheets to Ruby because
She's a transit
she
cheat.
she is the note master.
I think I do.
So how do we get the portable hole?
Well, it's
On a boat.
it's portable.
Or-
As long as there is a space
go
of 10 feet in diameter, we can extend the portable hole and let everybody else out
So you carry us in the hole
to the next
to
location.
a boat and then put the hole down.
It doesn't say she has it, but I bet if Heidi slept, she could have it. I mean, it's up to you.
And you don't have to
I-
go through.
She doesn't right now, but she could easily.
Whoever was the person dimension
Security.
dooring us to the next point would have to go through security potentially.
So
Presumably.
we get one person through security with You?
The
Hyden
easiest,
could polymorph someone into like a hell beast.
the easiest to make
Okay.
their way through would probably be Guile Eye.
Yeah, and
That
maybe
is true.
Peter.
Sure.
I can do it.
You could be their child.
Or Peter. I was gonna say
Can you
Peter's-
dimension door?
I can just be a devil.
He's
Or
the devil.
I could be in the bag of holding while everyone else is in the portable
I
hole.
could change myself to look just like one of those guys. I put up that one of the spine flying things.
So we're not blowing up the 2 eyes.
That's a backup plan.
I think it may be worth it to consider performing said feat, if anything, to slow Vander down.
I just say we get through quick and quiet.
So do we think Vander? Did we beat
Remember
Vander
the
here?
blood
We
rain?
think.
I
Yeah.
think Vander
Have
is
you ever
over
seen
there.
rain
I
behind
point
us?
On
towards
this
where the
plane?
clouds are in the distance.
So-
I think he's through already.
Did it rain?
You did.
I
yeah,
like-
when you were traveling across
It
through
was
that
blood.
sweeping moment, you'd seen areas of rain.
Mm.
And the rain was blood.
Okay. The reason I brought it up is because I thought he already left this plane, because I didn't think we'd ever seen rain on this plane.
No, we've seen rain, and it was blood.
Well, whatever. We're in hell. It's not that weird.
Pretty hard
Everything's
to
awful.
forget.
I
It's all
understand.
bad here.
Well,
I like Mayfly's plan. I'd bet my life on Grudj.
I can.
I don't
Okay,
know if I
get
want to
too
do
serious.
that.
What?
It's the bottom.
Too serious. Shut him down.
The
What?
bomb.
The
The
bomb. The
I mean,
bomb
I
is
would.
very much on the table. It's
Would
fixed.
you not?
The bomb is in the pocket.
I might.
Peter's pocket.
Well, what if we just
But I
set
didn't
the
kiss him.
bomb down river and then, I don't know,
Do you think the
we
rivers-
could detonate it on that entrance?
I was
the
gonna
river
say,
Styx would set the
can
bomb
we-
And
off?
it could
Can we ruin it for Vander? We get through and leave
ruin their
chaos
whole thing,
for Vander.
block the whole waterway, and then flood upriver, causing such a kerfuffle that maybe we could get in, sneak in, and then secure the gate.
Not gonna lie.
I think
don't-
we
Knock something
squint
into the
for a
river
long
on
way.
our way
I
out.
also am going to squint at Spixer. I like this plan. a
But then
little
I
too
remember.
much.
You have the detonator, right?
I remember.
We leave and we
All
destroy
right.
the place so that
Who
Vander
was
Everybody
it?
know.
Wait.
If anybody touches the
I have a good
water,
idea.
they
Okay.
become stupid forever.
Yeah, we don't touch the water.
So
We're not touching the
We
water.
don't touch the water. What do we do? Maybe we secure a Mariloth here at the docks. It goes through, and then by the time it goes through, afterwards we send the bomb down the river, explode the bomb as we get to the front. Well, we'd have to get there beforehand.
We could use it as distraction and a way to
Would
stop
it be
Vander.
possible for us to affix the bomb past the second checkpoint to the bridge itself?
On the paper boat?
Destroy and
This-
have
What
the
if we
second
put it-
bridge drop
and lock us in.
and lock the waterway behind us.
Can I get a diagram?
What if we put it on our paper
Yeah,
boat?
how about that?
Can I get a
Bomb.
small diagram to
Put it
help
on
me
the
Go
under?
through, yeah, and then we
Mom's so
destroy
sorry.
the paper boat, put the bomb
Okay,
on that.
here, let me.
It's a
Do you have
little
a
fancier than a
sheet of
paper,
paper?
Oh,
but yeah.
The
It's
whole, you can have as much of that.
significantly fancier
I
than
tried to
paper
draw
boat.
something
Okay,
and then I
but-
don't think I understood.
That's how we could do the bomb. We have an extra boat.
We could do it that.
We
I
do have
can-
a boat in wherever our ship is.
Yes, but this is our encased boat.
Yeah, this is our just because boat.
This is.
What does
this
that even
is-
mean?
It means just
This
because
is
you
our
have a
boat in
boat
case
doesn't
we're
mean
on
you
the
can
other
use it.
boat and that boat capsizes, then we have a different boat.
Just because.
What if? Okay. There's a bunch of
You
people
guys
just
think-
walking in, right?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people just walking in. Why don't we just send
Heidi up there?
someone who can die repeatedly?
Oh,
Clover.
Clover? You want to send my celestial dog to the
So-
gates of hell?
What I thought-
Hang on.
I'm still invisible.
That's right.
If we send a celestial dog, they'll know there's a
It
fucking
doesn't have
celestial.
to be a celestial dog.
But if it's a celestial dog,
By
they'll know there's a
virtue
celestial.
of the spell, it's celestial.
Can you not
I don't
be a
believe this.
I can summon a regular dog, I think. But it would be a second one. Why don't you send Reggie through? He's more of a regular thing.
Reggie's not really a regular thing either.
I would send Sulu.
Wait,
but
why are we
Sulu-
sending anything? Why are we
If Su-
sending something else through?
Well,
Just
I was
to
just
get
saying,
more
like,
time,
we're
like,
trying to, like,
intel.
find a way to do it in the river, but we could just walk in, place the bomb, teleport onto a boat.
I mean, frankly, we don't even have to pretend. We don't even have to say
Oh,
that we
oh,
are going
oh,
down the river. We can just say we're there visiting.
Guys, Valenccya drew a picture.
Wouldn't they think it's weird that we're just
I will
Ryan
also say,
here.
it?
just because I didn't mention this before, There is
We're
a
here.
giant stone archway,
Fire.
about 100 to 200 feet up in the air, that
Fire
connects the two
Fire
towers together.
Towers?
Whether people kind of walk around.
I was kind of thinking, we got a bunch of soul coins, and if we get any like backlash from the
just
people
pay our
bringing
way
us,
through.
it would just bribe the guard. We got a bunch of soul coins. Like,
Let's do it. Let's go
I'm
through.
sure a couple of soul coins are worth a lot.
Guile and
Either way,
Amemnon
I do believe
and
that
Peter,
we should try to
and then
find a way
Grudj will-
to either halt or stall Vander as much as possible.
Explode.
I think Vander.
I-
I don't.
I think Vander's there. I'm not gonna lie.
Explode the gate.
He was a day ahead of us, and we are at the fort.
An
Where do you think he
evening-
is?
An evening ahead of us,
He still had to sleep.
and he still took
And
the
then he had
full
to
rest.
I
take two
do
full
We
think-
did not.
I think if it's possible
Speaking
to
of,
slow
I'm
him
tired
down.
as shit.
Are you tired?
Didn't
I
you
think
sleep
I'm
last night?
fine.
We're fine.
No, because I was driving.
What's
Oh,
up?
right,
Great.
Day of travel. I forgot.
Are you exhausted?
Almost.
Come on, Peter. Peter.
What do
I
you
think
want?
back-
You want to do what?
I'll help you. Tear
No,
something
you
down.
will not.
Why?
Yeah?
Why not?
What is your plan? I forgot already. There's been too much going on.
Why did we make a bomb if not to use it?
Okay. All right. Sixer, you're a bad influence. I think if the bomb is needed,
Answer the question.
if the bomb is needed, then
We'll
we
use
need
it.
it.
It's needed.
I think we should
It is
knock
not
over
needed.
and fuck up
It's
the river.
needed.
I remember someone said don't trust Fixer, and now I keep remembering that, but I'm not sure why.
I have always trusted Sphinxen.
Insight check.
Roll it.
I don't need one. I remember when you told us not to.
Nat 20. It's the dumbest thing I've ever
So-
put on.
So the plan
25.
is
He told you not
Guile,
to trust
Amemnon,
Fixer
and
like 2
Peter
days
just go through. Then what are we doing with Grudj?
Why don't we just?
It's
okay.
just, it was just an option. If we
No, no,
if
no.
we can find a different.
I mean, I'm just so this is what we've got so far is that Guile, Amemnon, and Peter are just gonna go through like normal. But then how do we get Grudj to get the rest of us through? How do we? Are we doing
So
that?
we have a couple of
then?
different plans
The whole?
going on currently. There's one, which is your initial plan. That one is where we will, I would assume, secure passage, and then
For
have
if you less concerned raising options, such as Guile, Amemnon, and Peter,
right, make their way into the interior, and then
With-
once we reach the end,
if possible, myself invisible.
you
And
can teleport
us in the bag.
In a bag or
Us in
hole?
the bag.
So how that works is we, Peter, Guile, I, make our way inside, find the Renamore,
Yep.
give them the fare for everybody, make our way to the exit, and then whoever is not able to be inside teleports in. Right? Is that correct?
Yes, that would be my opinion. But at the same time, that only gives us 5 minutes per. Well, it gives us 10 minutes per bag because we have 3 bags.
Let's
I
not
mean,
get
I
befuddled
should-
with the facts.
I should also
I
bring
have
up
some-
that I can
I have
breathe.
some pipes.
You would be
In
okay.
any-
I fashion a snorkel.
So
You would
I
be
can
great.
breathe in a bag or a hole for as
I'm
long
saying,
as I want
I
to.
have
the
pipes.
necklace.
You would be great in a bag. You would do well.
Yeah, we would all be
I can
so
breathe.
good. Just
If I'm being
I can breathe
perfectly
in a bag.
honest,
Oh,
you're
you-
the one
I
who gets
don't-
You
to
actually can.
I can.
I also can.
Yeah, that's what I was
Remember
saying.
that.
I was like,
I
can
don't want to
breathe.
set off any alarms, so I'm comfortable removing myself from the situation. I take off my bag and I open it up and I begin to put
We're
a
not-
leg
we're
inside.
not doing
Just
that.
testing. I'm
Now,
just testing
before
it.
we get
I'm testing
in
it.
too deep, shh, guys.
Wait, I want to see.
Yeah.
we're not getting into
The
bags.
second plan,
Let's know what's
which is
happening.
offered by Sphinxer here, is securing safe travel now, making our way towards the fort as our Morenaloth careens inside, whilst afterwards someone looses this explosive device.
Drops the TV.
And then by the time it reaches that barricade, which isn't a timing issue,
Yes.
it explodes, causing us enough leeway to get on the boat and safe passage out while they are
I like that.
perplexed.
Distraction and
Is
getting
it
through.
possible that Valenccya and or Nuanen could take the bomb? It is a spiked bomb, yes?
Yeah, there's spikes, yeah.
Okay. If they were to take it with their combined strength and swing it into one of the walls, is there potential with the spike length for it to adhere itself to the wall while we sail away?
Yeah. That's what it's meant for.
I can throw it 60 feet.
Your surgeon's fixer.
Yeah, the spikes hit into a construct or a person, and then the explosive material inside creates such a combustive force that it
No, that
breaks
doesn't
the
happen.
metal shell,
That doesn't
tearing it apart into shrapnel,
It only blows up
exploding the exterior,
It only blows
and
up when I
any
tell it to.
creatures and constructs in the relative area.
Fixer.
Okay.
It does not blow up when it
So-
smacks things.
No, it's detonated, but it can latch itself with the spikes.
Okay, well, I'm.
I
a
would
little skeptical,
very
but-
much like to roll another insight check right now.
So we have Guile and Amemnon and Peter and Grudj going in like normal. Grudj may be invisible or disguised.
I love planning.
And then we and anyone else go in a bag or in a hole. We hop out and plant a bomb, hop back in, and then Grudj, if needed, teleports us into the boat.
No. I think Spixer's got it. I think Spixer's got the right of it. I rolled a 1. Spixer's got the right of it.
Right. I'm just wondering as a backup, because I'm like,
Oh.
that first, but
Yeah.
second, Grudj teleports
It's gonna work
us.
perfect.
It's gonna be awesome.
Okay, sure.
No other
Let's go.
potential
Valencya, while all this
alchemic
conversation is
adhesives
happening,
need to be applied to
you
set
notice
bombs.
outside the sort of skinned
Weren't you
trappings
against
by
this
the
a few minutes
windows
ago?
That there are some
Captain
silhouettes of
Spixer's
some
correct.
creatures
I mean, the
approaching
spikes would absolutely work.
the vicinity of.
This is one of the only
The
times
vehicle.
you've ever seen Grudge beat down.
What was happening? What were you saying?
There appears to be some creatures that are approaching the vicinity of the vehicle.
Like they're gonna walk into
From the
it.
outside, yeah.
I think a touch of
Near the
madness can be genius. Doesn't mean it's,
People have
dumb.
noticed
It's
you.
only dumb if it fails.
Oh, like the vehicle?
Yeah.
Like
That's
it's not
invisible.
invisible?
No, it is invisible. I'm saying
only
that
dumb
they've
if it
noticed the
doesn't work.
sounds from coming
It's
from
not
the
true.
vehicle.
Hey guys,
Dumb
hey,
things
And
work
are
all the
starting
time.
Hey, guys.
to come.
hey guys,
in
quiet
this
it down.
direction.
We're gonna have some friends.
As there are a few
What?
people.
I snapped the manacles on my wrist. I'm like, I don't know.
We're still invisible, right?
No,
no-
not to these
oh.
people. There's someone knocking on the door
Nope,
now.
that's not.
I'm sorry. We were having a good conversation.
I want to make an insight check. Do they just see the vehicle, or do they see us too?
We're in the
We're
How
making
much
noise.
true sight?
Peter, you've been shouting.
Let's go,
about
Hunter.
quiet plans.
I'm gonna pee.
I'm
and I'm
ready.
gonna allow you
I'm
all
ready.
of. Nope. We're all stopping talking. Okay, I'm gonna go to the restroom. There are 3 humanoid individuals walking, all tieflings, walking towards your vehicle. They noticed something. Whether it was all of the loud voices bickering about plans from the interior after being warned 3 times in a row by Guile not to do that so
deserve
loud,
this.
or some other thing, you don't know. But they're about 30 to 50 feet off. They are walking in your direction, and I'm going to allow you a few moments to just kind of figure out what to do while I use the restroom.
We pull them into the invisibility.
I'm going to be
Kill them.
right back.
Holy fuck, shut the fuck up!
Shut the fuck up. Wait, no, if we pull them into our
Oh, we can't pull them
invisibility,
in!
they won't see us kill them if we pull them into the invisibility.
We got harpoon guns.
I think
Invisible harpoon guns.
I think I'm like halfway up into my waist in the
Well,
back.
can't we just
You
talk to
can't
them?
get in the bag.
I can't
It's
believe
2
I'm saying
feet
this. But
wide.
can't we just talk to them? Can't we just? You can tiefling.
I'll talk to him. That sounds like a great idea.
Tiefling.
He rushes. Grudge is in the. Is it? Grudge just has sat himself in a seat and is just hyperventilating.
I know.
No.
I'm just sweating a lot.
No.
I should have cast
I'm, like,
silence.
pulling
We should have
down
been
the
messaging
bag.
this whole time. I forgot. Oh my god.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open the door. I'm gonna
Yeah.
reveal myself. Everyone else is gonna have it.
In your full tiefling glory? What?
Yes. I'm gonna be a full tiefling. That makes the most sense.
Pierce naked. Why?
I'm wearing clothes.
Put me in shackles.
Yep.
I shall
I
hand
snapped
you
some
shackles,
I
and
have-
you can deal with
Yep,
them
we
if
have
you want.
shackles.
Sure. Wait, I can break out of these.
That's fine.
They don't need to know.
You might not be able to. I'm not sure if you can.
I don't know. I'm just made that up. I don't know.
I could break these shackles.
Well, I feel like I imagine normal ones.
You
like
totally could.
flex. Sorry. Oops, they don't work.
But I think the best way to go about this is to reveal ourselves like it's not a big deal that we're invisible.
Hey. What's up?
Exactly, just like that. Like, you know, tons of people want to be invisible in hell. Like, who wants to be perceived
I mean,
in hell?
honestly, we'll just slide open the doors and I'll just lean out and.
Not you.
How you doing?
No.
Not you.
No.
Why
no.
not?
Why are you in the
Guile,
the back?
me, or Amanda,
If you're like
that's it.
still in
I know. I'm like,
You'll suffocate, not dead.
okay, I get out of the bag.
Unless you want me to get in there with you and
And just
then
awkwardly like, oh no, there's no bottom to this.
There's no bottom.
Oh
The
god.
bottom is like 10 feet down.
Oh, I mean I'm 6'4".
I have the broom.
She's taller than I am. Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah, your
We're
3
tall.
feet of legs
We're tall.
is totally gonna make the extra 6
Stand on
to
my
7
shoulders.
feet.
Oh my god.
I could touch the bottom of the pool. It's like 12 feet deep.
I said I can touch it, I just can't breathe.
So either tieflings do the talking and the rest of us are prisoners, or the rest of us need to disappear.
How about I just talk our way out of this?
I think I'm climbing into
You've
the
never
bag.
been able to convince me of anything.
Yeah, well, you're stubborn.
That's true.
And you don't like money.
You're
I
not that.
don't like money.
Nuanen.
Is this mine? What did this come
Yeah.
from?
Yeah, I gave you. Yeah.
Nuanen, you're not that stubborn.
I climb into the bag. I'm fully.
Don't get in the bag.
Wonderful,
I'm
but you're
I
not
think
that
I'm
stubborn.
submitting to this choice. I'm
We
gonna.
have another plan which doesn't involve you getting in a bag.
Okay, I just sit there with the manacles on, but
We have
I'm
the
gonna get us in
portable hole.
trouble.
That's what that's for. Okay, we have a plan.
Okay.
I don't.
I have no plan. I don't know.
I snapped the shackles on my wrist
Yeah.
like you did. Sit.
And I think I have the bag of holding by my feet.
I'm gonna try to make myself look as intimidating and as evil as possible.
We are not.
Okay.
We're not. None of us are being revealed.
Could you tell me this quick plan?
Val, punch me in the
Okay.
face.
No.
Quick plan. Everybody
Okay.
stands out of sight.
Actually,
I open
Sure.
the door like a
No, the
disgruntled
table
house
roll for
owner,
make my nose bleed.
and I go, "There's nobody here. This is my car, and I like to be invisible." That's essentially what's gonna happen. And nobody's gonna reveal themselves at all.
Swear to
I
Christ.
still like the
if
idea
this
that
works.
this is happening.
Yep.
We have to ask. Can Val make an attack roll on me, please, real quick? She rolled.
Can we just we both punch each other in the nose and
Just
give
for
each other
flavor, I
a
asked her
bloody
to punch
nose.
me, and she did, and she
Yeah.
rolled really well.
Kidding.
Okay, so I'm gonna say these two things are probably happening very similar.
Smack.
I'm gonna try to tell you to shut up. Please shut up.
Oh,
Be quiet.
Val.
I throw the portable hole over, and I stare at everyone like, okay,
I'm holding my broken
if
nose.
you need it, we have it.
Okay, what was that damage there?
Probably 4.
To your friend?
What's your
What's your
strength?
strength?
Unarmed attack, is that right?
4.
Why am I eating more?
Yeah.
Who's
So it's
feeding me?
5
Did you?
damage.
Oh wait, no, Valenccya. Did you want to throw a
I
smite
made like
on
5.
that?
No, I just
Okay.
want to punch. I just want to make my
Sorry.
friend bleed
What do you
cool
want?
in the
Are
nose.
you
It's
sure?
only strength.
We're trying to
Okay,
look like
you can.
prisoners.
Just keep that.
We
Any
were trying
spells
to
you want to
like
throw on
roughed
there?
up like we'd been beaten. Okay. What
Yeah.
are we looking at? What do you want?
19 to hit,
Sorry.
5
What?
damage.
Cool.
I have a lot of
Yep.
coffee.
Okay, so
You have taken 5
Attack
damage.
me.
you've taken 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Nice. Okay.
You are not raging, so that is not halved.
Big 5.
And while you hear the slap of meat behind you, you open the iron door into a visible interior to these 3 people who are kind of casing the exterior. You
Is there
see
something I
one
can
of
help
them-
you with?
There is a burgundy, now that you see them a little closer, there is a burgundy, sort of a bluish, and a pale sort of peachy toned tiefling. One of which, the burgundy one, has 3 horns that descend from their head. He appears to have 2 swords at his side and a number of bags behind him. The bluish one is dressed in robes, kind of hunched over, a little older, and has these almost like straight back horns that curve in just a gentle arc, about a foot off of his head. He is walking with a staff and sort of like holding his hand up to the vehicle. The other one is sort of like looking around, bopping, has a light air about them, and 2 like spinneret style horns
Antelope.
coming off of her very fair face. Yes.
If it looks like things are going to come to a point where anybody else is going to be notified that we're here, or ensure that people who at the fort may be notified, I would like to drop silence on the 3 of them.
Sounds good. I'll say that you're keeping an eye on things so you can get the drop on it.
Yes.
You open up the door and startle this first individual as the slap of humanoid flesh happens from inside.
No,
Try
I
to
don't.
mask it with the door sound.
Oh, sounds good. Roll a deception with disadvantage.
I mean, that is actually happening.
I mean, it was a good idea.
It's working against you just as much as your stuff is working for you.
No,
so.
I want them to notice me.
Oh, okay. No, they're noticing you. I'm talking about. You said you were trying to mask the sound.
Reggie
of
kick
slapping.
him in the
Why are we
face?
at disadvantage?
Because that's working against what your deception is working for.
Can Reggie kick him in the face at the same time?
No!
Seconds, so I thought
Go
we had
ahead!
it before the door opened, but alright.
You're thinking that we got punching in the background
You
and
need to use
screaming
different goddamn
kids,
dice.
and you're just gonna be
No.
like,
Who's
"No,
screaming kids?"
everything's fine."
Who's the screaming kids? Is that us?
That's us.
I feel a gaslit.
If you ask yourself who's the screaming
Being
kids,
shits, it's
chances
fine.
are
I'm running
who's
out
the
of-
screaming kids.
I'm running out of uses here.
What you got,
I love
baby?
this. I love that we're just like.
What you got, baby?
I got 13.
Okay, sounds good. You open the door. There's an audible slap behind you. I'm gonna say it doesn't necessarily cover, but does to an extent.
I look over my
Sounds
shoulder.
good.
Shut up, Bessie! I'm trying to have like a dog or
And
something.
you're sort of met with the gaze of this this sort of like middle-aged tiefling who is startled by your presence from out of nowhere.
Hi.
Hi.
Can I help you with something?
It's
I
at
noticed
this
you're
point
kind
that
of.
his friend sort of like flicks his wrist and dispels
Counterspell.
the illusion.
No. Just let it happen.
Your 3rd level goes off in his
Oh.
hand.
Oh, that's a
It
book.
flickers into nothing, and he's sort of like, huh.
I kind of. Ooh. I want to make it look like I did.
You all got going over
Wait,
here.
hold on. When he does that, I'm gonna try to make it look like I did it.
Okay.
Like I kind of just like, I kind of raise an eyebrow, like, what are you doing, man?
Roll a deception check.
I think I'm just praying to Mialiki in my mind.
Oh my god!
What is it?
Roll a different dice.
What is it?
2.
Okay. He's like,
What do you want? And stop trying to reveal my vehicle. I like being straight.
hey, we don't want any arguments or nothing bad. We just saw something a little peculiar, thought we would investigate. And
That
it
makes
looks
sense.
like
Invisible
we've got some
trucks are usually
stuff
pretty
in
peculiar.
here that you might want to keep quiet, is that right?
Well, I like to be discreet.
Hey, Fantasia, we got friends. He looks over to that sort of like pale tiefling as she saunters over. Ooh, I love friends.
I step out, I close the door.
You can see all them plainly. Yes,
I'd like to read her vibe.
sounds good.
I want to know,
Vibe check.
is she like,
Vibe
is she
check,
the
vibe check.
force behind these two, or is she...
Or insight check.
Me.
Is she their boss or is she their like?
Hey, we don't want any trouble. We just wanna
This is a bad
see
idea.
if maybe you can help us out.
Dirty
Stress
20.
eating marshmallows in hell.
Maybe 20. She is, I will say, pretty. I'm gonna say flippant. She has a casualness about her that seems unbecoming of the situation you all are in.
Okay, cool. That's what I wanted to know.
I don't work for free.
Well, maybe we can sort out some of a trade. Y'all looking to get downriver?
We don't need help getting downriver, but if you are looking to get downriver, we can help you.
Well, actually, we kind of have an opposite problem. We're looking to get a little further into these here wastes. We have a, without giving out too much information, a target about 5 miles to the south of here. And it looks like you have your hands on a pretty sturdy vehicle. He sort of clanks the side of the iron thing.
I'd be careful. He's mean.
Ooh! What's to say that we aren't too?
I was talking about the truck, but
Can we come in? Have a little conversation?
Oh, in the truck.
no, we can talk out here.
Okay. Seems like
I
you have
put
something
another
to try.
foot in the hole.
I'm just bleeding. Like,
You know, I started this conversation with I like to be
Focus
discreet.
notes.
You should probably remember that.
Discretion implies that there's secrets in here.
Do you know where we are?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We live in secrets.
Yeah. We do.
Anyways,
You know,
You need
like the rest of
transportation?
us, are you? And he sort of like looks at your wings,
eh,
looks at your hooves. Where
kind
you
of
from?
green. I'm not from here.
No. Seems a lot like it.
That was so good.
Kenya, right?
It's a little warm around here.
Yeah, seems like it. Far from your lair, aren't you? So, that's interesting. In a feral tiefling from Kenya, young too, mind you, all the way in Avernus. What? Homecoming?
I'd like to make my way around.
Oh, don't mess with him too much. Come on, he's not gonna strike a deal if he doesn't like you.
Look, you approached us, and I wasn't going to strike a deal. You want to make a deal.
Right.
What are you offering?
Well, we got a friend over there. He sort of like references the river. There's a Mariloth that's sort of like stationary, that appears to just kind of be like looking passively over in their direction, almost like they had secured travel, but it's just waiting for the next go round.
You secured travel for yourself? You
Not
know
for
you're
all
heading?
of us. Well, no. We got him here, but we were trying to find another way to our destination. But I don't really want to travel on foot. Neither do we. And you got this nice, spacious machine. He's just going to go downriver. You know, take his fare in the fort, grab some more stuff, whatever he needs. But right now he's on our call. So if you want him, you can take him. Or we can garner a bit of a trade.
I think
I got an idea.
message.
I was just
how
about to
many-
do that.
You both message each other.
How many soul coins do we have?
Oh,
14.
first of all, did you want to conceal this message?
Well,
Oh,
yes.
you don't have to make noise.
Okay, just make a stealth check.
Okay.
I don't think you have. You don't have to speak.
No, to use
It's
this
any
cipher.
communication
It's
stuff.
mental
Oh, that's what you're
communication.
Can be
Yeah.
can be picked up on the archdevil of the area.
I see. I wasn't worried about the archdevil very much.
13?
13. Okay, sounds good.
Let me see. Do you have to use 12?
You got 12, yeah.
How many soul coins?
14.
I mean, he's good for 3 of us, so one of you is nothing. And then you don't have to pay any fare. Come on!
Give me a sec. I go back to
You
the
can
vehicle.
You can stay out.
And you got food in there? He sort of like looks.
I think we're all listening at the door.
I try.
We don't need this
Hold on. No, we might not need to make. We have what they want.
I thought that too, but I don't know how far.
Anyways, I go back to the door, and I attempt to grab the handle like I know where it is.
That's so funny. Wait, would it still
You know,
be
it's already.
invisible?
Oh wait, it is still invisible because you counterspelled it.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
That's so funny.
I know this vehicle like the back of my hand, and I'm gonna try to prove it.
I don't know how to do it.
Like a luck
Can
die?
I don't
Evens
know.
are
Can I assist him by very lightly funking my fist on the outside of where the handle
While
is?
he's
I think
trying
you
to
was
do
did
this,
well enough.
while he's doing this, how hard is this individual trying to fuck us?
I don't know if you can glean that right away. Roll an insight check. I will also say this is like they can see into open doors and
Yeah.
windows. So like looking through the windows is a little difficult to do while you're kind of like, you know, inside, unless you want to risk your being surveilled. But they already know you're here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say just roll a little dex check just to see if you can find it without a problem.
I'm gonna keep rolling my new die until it gives me
Oh
something.
wait, actually, I'll give you investigation.
Okay. I get advantage
Total
at
of
that.
7.
7. I'm gonna roll on this one. I'm gonna say you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hard to read them, and they seem like vagrant travelers, but also there's an edge to them.
Yeah.
How nice is their clothing?
Not.
Okay,
Yeah.
23. I grab the handle, I open, I go inside, I shut the door, I look at everybody, I message, Eli, I message you.
Yep.
I gotta roll a stealth,
Grudge.
You do.
or that's a natural 1.
High five.
You just shout out loud your message.
Hey! Hey, everybody!
So I
Peter,
attempt to
that
conceal the
wasn't-
message, I get a natural 1.
Sounds good.
Oh.
I say,
Keep this in mind.
You can get the full 20 words if you want, or 25 words if you want.
I'm just gonna say, in the hole.
Sounds good.
Oh.
We
Yep.
get a minute per person.
In the hole?
Okay, so what did you get for investigation? I'm trying to move. There's so many things going on.
23 for investigation, I'm
Perfect.
inside.
Your hand gets the grate, it opens. I will say, is there anyone near the doorway?
Nope.
I'm in
No.
the back.
I don't know where
Good.
we're in the back.
Perfect. You make your way inside, and they start to kind of have a kind of cursory conversation as a triad, just like a few feet away. And it also looks like there's a couple other people that are kind of glancing over, but not really investigating. Go ahead.
So, get in the hole.
I need to get in the hole.
I take out a pipe and another pipe. I screw them together, and I'm like, "Here's a pipe. Stick it out and breathe if you have to."
Okay, point of order. Not gonna work for the hole. Could work for the bags of holding.
You can fold over a pipe.
I thought that a portable hole cuts.
I don't think a portable hole cuts.
It does not.
It does not.
That's dangerous stuff. I don't think a portable hole does that.
Okay.
Also, Guile's gonna kind of pipe up as you're doing this and says, "There's 3 of them. There's 3 of us. We
Yeah,
can
but like
trade spots."
that's the plan. I got this.
We've got 3 options for us each to jump into.
They-
You
outside.
hear in your mind
They
too.
think that it's only one of me, and I'm gonna keep it that way.
She nods.
So everybody in the hole,
Okay.
I'm gonna take the
I'm
thing.
going to get.
We're
Okay,
gonna go.
so
Peter, it feels like there's less space in the hole than can I climb in my bag and
Yeah,
put my
there's a
bag
bomb in there.
No,
Yeah,
don't do
I
that.
feel
Give
bad.
me all the bags. Nobody get in the hole with the bags.
Still taking the bomb with us. Right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I go to get in the hole with the bag. And I'm
Give
like,
me
what?
all the bags.
Oh yeah, here you go.
I
I
will
take
go
off
so
my
there
bag.
are
Okay.
3 bags. So 2 of us to each bag. It gives us 5 minutes.
I
No,
get.
we're not getting into bags. All of us in the hole. The bag openings are 2 feet wide. Nobody's fitting except for Spixer.
Okay. Fixer, you're in a bag.
Okay, Peter, I just want you to know, if I suffocate in this hole,
Here's
I
a
will
pipe.
blame you. Okay.
Just breathe through the pipe. It used to be a part of a displacer beast.
Okay.
I get in the hole.
Weird.
I get in.
I slide
Get
into
in
the
the
hole.
hole.
What's it like in the hole, Hunter?
It's
Oh,
down
a lot of
the room.
room.
There's a spicy
There's
bomb.
no air.
It's a
in the
big
hole.
bomb.
So you are gonna have to hold your breath if,
Even with the pipe.
with what pipe?
I gave a snorkel.
A snorkel
I did.
to the top of the hole.
I kind of just, when I fold it up, I keep the pipe. I like fold it around the pipe, and then I stuff the pipe in my pocket.
It kind of, you know what it looks like? It looks like
So let me just get this straight.
a bow bun.
Yeah.
It's just kind of twisted
Yeah, yeah.
around
With
the
a
pipe.
snorkel.
So
at
I'm
the
gonna
top.
I'm just gonna quick make sure I have all the pieces to this puzzle before we start putting it together.
Esophagus of a
So,
beast of a-
You, everyone is gonna get into the pipe, into the bag. There's
Portable hole.
one snorkel that can allow one person at a time to gain a full breath worth of breath. The rest of you have limited amount of breath per minute, depending on your constitution.
We use our
modifier.
action to
it's-
take a
Let me
breath.
keep going. Let me keep going.
Hold.
No.
It's 10 divided by the number of people
This is
in
so
the
stupid.
bag.
That's so great.
This is so
I want to keep
stupid.
going. I'm sorry. I
I love
appreciate that. I need to stop this brain from
Okay.
going forward.
Okay.
Okay. So each of you are gonna take turns breathing, except for
Yes,
you because
not
you
me,
got
I'm
breath.
good.
Okay, all of you are gonna take turns. Well, over the course of this thing, something else happens. Is that right?
Yeah, Peter, you're gonna take care of all of us, right? Peter?
I will whisper into the pipe
Okay.
if
Ew, as you're trying to breathe!
I'll be like, okay, so we are going into the place now. Stop breathing for a sec.
Okay, so have we done this yet, or is this happening?
This
I
has
think
not
it's happening
happened yet.
right now.
So
Our life.
I take all the bags
Uh-huh.
and I go full face with Dinaktar. So
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna give it a little bit of like an intimidating look, maybe.
Okay.
Kind of like a scary, angry face.
Uh-huh.
And I get all the bags on me, 2 satchels, the backpack, and I'm like getting ready to leave my home that I've had for a long time.
I like this backstory.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Wait, I thought we haven't done it yet. I'm confused.
No,
It's a
we're
big
in the
thing.
back.
Can I actually ask you a question?
Yes.
Did you get in the bag?
I did. But
Okay.
It's
I'm
not
just
a
like,
bag.
We keep going in and out of character. I have no idea
Sorry.
if we're
We're just
shit
You know what's
talking
really
or
fun?
actually doing it.
I love that like when we as a group are forced with like an intellectual challenge,
We do the
it
hard
is so
stuff.
difficult.
This is all on him. This is his
this
fault.
is Nathan's
We were
fault.
provided an opportunity,
So
and I'm
just to
jumping out.
confirm, everyone, so that's Spixer, Heidi, you,
Why are we listening
Guile
to Peter?
and
Why are
Amemnon.
we
Guile and
listening to
Amemnon are
Peter?
out of the bag.
Guile and Amemnon are
They have
outside.
chosen not to get in.
They
the
are
They're going to
tieflings.
be with this
Yeah.
this
They're
group of
tieflings.
3.
Okay.
So essentially, Guile just asked, there's 3 of them, there's 3 of us, we can trade places on the boat, and then so they get our car, we get to leave with the boat, and we don't have to get fare. That's the bot.
Good trade.
That
Give them-
seems correct.
Give them the fucking
We're in the
vehicle.
hole. We're in the hole.
Okay.
Oh, we're
Give
we're
them
in the
6
hole.
coins.
I am trying to leave the assumption that I'm alone. I'm trying to keep that
Besides-
assumption.
All right,
I
and
think
we're
I'm
in the
gonna
hole.
poke back out of the hole. Peter, just go with Guile and Amemnon.
That's not a great idea.
Go with
Why?
Guile and Amemnon.
Because it's the assumption that I'm
I
alone.
live for Grudj popping out of the bag.
Can I ask a very valid question?
I don't believe that.
What are the benefits to having
To
all
you
of us?
being alone!
Pushes your head back down.
Yeah, Eli, you're back in the bag now.
You got the snorkel. Just use it.
Talk.
Peter,
Yes.
is there a benefit to having you alone?
They're gonna jump.
Other than me
Your
appearing,
pride?
to be honest.
Well,
You're in hell.
Peter, you're not very intimidating.
That is a good thing sometimes.
Guile and I can help you.
Blame them.
You're not that scary either.
I can be.
Yeah, well, show it more. You haven't been helping that much.
All
He's
right.
gonna do that thing with his tail where he like whips you.
Whip it back.
Your tails get tied together.
And they make love. Oh my God! No.
You're
Okay.
so much hotter than I thought.
All right.
There's a lot of uses for
People
that
in the
tail.
hole, right? People in the hole, snorkel in
I
the
guess
hole,
Amemnon
snorkel
and
in the
Guile.
hole.
I'll take Guile. I
Okay.
want Amemnon in the hole.
No, Amemnon is not going in the hole.
Fine, I'll keep Amemnon and Guile. Whatever.
What the fuck is this?
Why do you have to be alone?
Can we break game for a second? What is with you wanting to do this alone?
Grudj was gonna do it alone. I can do it alone
Because
too.
I was gonna be invisible!
3 tieflings.
By myself!
I can do it alone
You got
too.
such pride for someone who's so young.
I'm just saying everyone thinks Nuanen's dumb, but
I mean,
Fuck
we're the ones who
me.
climbed into
Good
the
idea.
hole.
Bad
Idiocy
execution.
manifests in different ways.
All right. Okay.
Yup.
I let them come out with me. Everyone else is come.
They're their own people.
What?
They're gonna do whatever they're.
Yeah,
Shut up. I'm gonna say
We're
however
in
I
the
want.
I think
Anyways,
just
I go out of the vehicle and make sure I got all my shit. Got all my bags.
You done chatting in there?
It's going great. My friends are so great. Anyways,
Would it make you feel comfortable if we all introduced ourselves?
no,
Okay.
that would make it worse. You should introduce me to your boatman. And I'm gonna give you this soul coin so that you can get out of here with my vehicle.
Woo!
And
Yes, and he sort of like looks over the other 2. We got passage and begins to like chat with them.
I can't bring it down the river, so this is great.
No, this works perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, just be mindful of the skin seats. I usually like them, but they scream sometimes.
I wouldn't give them a plan until we're sure we have passage.
Sounds easy enough. The one that's sort of like he keeps like sort of a closeness to you. Like he's like a little too close for comfort. He like is over by you, a little bit of nudging here and there.
I take off
as he brings stuff.
I fly.
Okay, so you fly above.
I maintain about a 15-foot distance.
Guile-
Sorry, man. I don't like being close to people.
Oh, that's no offense, I guess. Are Guile and Memnon, they're just coming out, or are you waiting for them to...
No, they're there.
Okay, so they're coming with you. Okay, sounds good. And you got friends, too. Nice. Okay. Well, this is our friend here. His name, to my knowledge, is Critstax.
Critstax.
I think.
Handsome.
He's just looking straight forward, like not even averting his gaze. Hey, Critzy! Hey, Critzy! And he sort of like snaps at him. And this Morenoloth like turns his head slowly, and you can hear the cracking of like his like neck as it turns. His two sort of like piss yellow eyes meet your gaze.
Jaundice eyes.
I stare
Jaundice
into
eyes.
his yellow
He's
eyes.
These three are gonna take our seat on your boat here. You can just give them our fare since we paid double, and then we're just gonna be out of your hair. Is that okay?
Actually, I'd like to see your written contract.
Oh, we don't have a contract for this. It's just verbal agreements.
Does he speak?
You sort of look at him. He looks at you.
Do you
look at
speak?
him. He looks at you. He looks at him. You hear like almost yeah, like a voice beyond the grave that says.
Did you make a verbal agreement with them? Was it to take people to the next layer of hell?
Can we get a DJ check?
Can I have everybody just in the thing just make a quick wisdom save
check?
as to not be super
Hey,
duper
guys.
claustrophobic?
I don't think I need
Like I just
to
want to make
say
sure no one freaks out.
+5 because you're definitely within 5
Yeah.
feet of Al.
Ooh!
23.
Heidi starts singing a little halfling tune in there. It sets you all at ease. It seems like you're all good. And everybody
12.
good? Sounds good.
32.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
You just got beers
I
going,
don't love it.
candle.
I don't, I can breathe. I don't love it though.
Yeah. We're all
You
sitting
see his
like...
sort of like his
Grudj
like
is just
crooked
massaging your
fingers and skeletal hand all gestures to you in a soft motion onto the bows of this relatively comfortable, about 8-seat boat.
Hey, Memna.
Oh, yes.
He's not like fake, is he? He's like a real ferryman, right? We're not gonna go like swimming.
Sir, would you be so kind as to let me touch your robes? Yes. Touches his robe, yanks on it a little bit. I think he's right.
Okay, so you give me the eyes.
Get on the boat, Peter.
Okay,
Please,
we're
just
good?
get on the boat.
Okay. You wanted to come. I need your
Get on the boat.
insight.
They take no time at all. The three of them, that sort of like swaggery one saunters forward. The
I should've
girl
left the bomb.
sort of like clicks her heels as
I
she
like
jumps in the air, does like a
just
quick little
Fantasia.
pirouette, and then moves in.
I
her
love-
name's Fantasia.
I love her. I'm in love with her.
And the other one takes quite a long time to get towards the vehicle before peeling off. The Morenoloth begins to look at you and says, they were going to pay, or they paid for passage to Dismader for 3. Their deal is your deal.
That sounds perfect.
We are passing through the veil. If anyone on board is not of the alignment that is appropriate within this level of hell, you may want to go through
My alignment's neutral right now, I think. We're good.
It is. Memnon says, we probably should go through the front.
You gonna meet us there? Is that a part of this?
Yes.
Okay.
My duty is to make it inside, pick you up there, and make our way.
Okay, fine. Alright. I guess we're walking.
You begin to process forward.
Yeah, I was like, how are these two doing? Passing the
I'm gonna
stick.
say everyone's
with
passing the
breathing.
stick.
We're passing the stick.
I just start
Fixer,
fanning into my
within
pocket.
within minutes of being in this tunnel, pulls out weird tube out of his bag and starts
Connecting them into a string
using
of
sap
tubes.
to make tubes and then branches it off to each person so that everyone can kind of have their own tube and essentially makes a makeshift bendy straw situation for everyone to be able to breathe if they need to.
Don't get carbon monoxide poisoning. And breathe a little quieter. Jeez.
I'll fucking kill you.
Your lapel just.
And with that, I think the choice was forced upon you. You begin the about a half-mile walk towards, or a mile and a half walk towards the entrance of.
So glad I got air conditioning.
We're almost there.
As the boat makes its way forward, the Merenoloth begins slowly plying his way as you sort of disguise yourself amidst this procession of mortals and non-mortals.
I kind of have I had a chance to pick up a dingy cloak?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been disguised pretty much this whole time in
Yeah, just-
garbage and stuff.
Hold up.
Yeah. I'll say it's easy enough to get forward, but Amemnon's gonna say, all right, I think we should probably have a story in place just to make sure that we're safe enough when we get there. Let's say that we have business, we're on contract in the city of Dis. Guile, any ideas, Peter?
We could say we invented a new bomb, and we want to show it to the right people.
And open the bag full of people.
No, we don't have to show the bomb. We could just say that we did it so that we're not lying.
I'm beginning to believe that all artificers are similar.
You know what? I'm not.
Can I give
Fuck you.
Amemnon inspiration? Because that was beautiful. Take some psychic damage for that.
Take a D4.
That's some cutting words right there.
An invention is a great idea. Do you have
You know
an
what?
invention?
You can come up with the story. I'll let you do the talking.
Yeah,
Go
you
for it.
just leave. You got this.
I'll carry the bags. Keep the rest of the crew alive.
I feel like we've been in here for 50 years. I'm sure we're almost done for 50 years.
Guile, you're my consort. We're going to be playing like normal. You and I are together. We're bringing Peter, who is an
Your lackey.
liaison for the Canyon Archers.
Canyon?
They are taking us down to Dis so we may meet with other tieflings to go over the war plans. I think that should be sufficient enough, Guile. I agree. Peter.
Shut the hell up.
100%. I'm ready.
Guile, take the front. Guile sort of like crests forward as you begin. to
I
move
whisper the
forward.
plan into the tube.
All we hear is like.
You see that same defense in the front of the tower. There's two sort of stationary armored devils on either side, and then there are two rather brutish sort of like barbed devils with these giant spears. Almost one of them is a trident, the other one's a spear, and they are crossed, and they begin to sort of like razz people and get them inside. You're waiting for about 10 to 15 minutes while all of you are desperately clinging to life in the interior as you approach the gates. When you approach, one of the barbed devils says, "What's your business at Fort Firespit?"
I gesture to
Guile says, she sort of like looks at him with her eyes like drawn in a Kubrick stare, and he begins to like look at her and says, "Speak out loud." She says, My keeper and I are headed to a lower level to convene with some of the archdevils there, or some of the higher devils there. We have with us a consort, a feral tiefling from Kanya. They are, on the behest of one of the archmages, are going to set up a rendezvous to go over Blood War stuff. Is that sufficient? He looks over both of you. I'm gonna see his eyes kind of like peer into you for a moment, looking you up and down, says, "Turn around!"
I lift my cloak up and show my butt a little. I flick my tail around a little bit.
Seductively.
Little angry cat.
He sort of like hits you with the butt of his spear on the knees.
Jeez, so aggressive.
Just
What
to
the hell?
knock you down a bit, and says, "No flitting about!
Flip wherever I want, but okay.
Open your robes." Did you conceal it?
I just tuck it in a little.
Can I get a sleight of hand quick for that?
You just hear as you do that out of the tube.
We had all these cool plans.
But no, Peter gets to
all
decide.
these cool
Peter
plans.
gets to decide for himself.
Give
the
me one of your
cool
dice.
plan
I want a
we
fancy
take.
one. Give me a fancy one.
No.
Leave it.
I've got my foot on my dice and she's
Bina,
trying to eat it.
leave
and
it.
I'm trying to get it from her. Here, hold on. It's under my toe, but I don't want it. I just don't want her to eat it. It's a choking hazard.
It's a sharp one. It's sharp.
All right.
She will die.
I'm gonna flash of genius that. I rolled a 4. I roll a 4, and I'm gonna turn that 4 into an 18.
Okay, an 18. Sounds good. You pop it in right when you're opening it up, and he doesn't appear to notice. And as you're doing it, Guile, realizing the situation, says, "Oh, come on. Titivilus is not going to be happy if we're late. Can we please pass through?" There's sort of like a flare of anger in her eyes. His perception gazes over for you a moment before looking over to her. She sort of like pulls something out from her cloak, and it appears to be a brass sigil that looks like a symbol that you've seen only like once or twice before that you know is associated with Asmodeus. Before they say, "Fine!" and they open up their standing spears to allow you entry. Passing through the barricade, it is 5 feet of solid stone, and the interior is kind of chaotic. There are devils milling about in this sort of entryway area, and it appears to be this, there's like a low stone ceiling with these heavy stone pillars that support the entirety of this tower, and just beyond it is this sort of docked, oh, that's so cute, docked area where a bunch of Morenoloths are making their way to like stop at these staggered docks. Yours is still sort of pulling in as they're sort of like they push you a little bit forward to make sure you're going to the right place. On the opposite side, under this same sort of entry on the other tower, there appears to be a bunch of devils that are moving heavy iron crates, as well as like sacks of stuff onto these empty boats. One of the boats is very large, it's about 20 feet long, and it appears to be like a bunch of stuff stacked onto it. You can see in the darkness of that other tower, there appears to be these like iron gated like storage units where you can see people being held in sort of their own like prison that are all shackled together, humanoids of various races waiting to be, I guess, like shipped in as slave labor to whatever layer they are destined for. And that's kind of it in the periphery. You see Yorm Runeloth making their way rather, their genderless way, towards one of the open docks just to the south as your friends start to suffocate.
So, before I forget,
Yeah.
I kind of go into the pocket, kind of finger around a little, and I just open the cloth, and I kind of get at it with 2 fingers. And
You
I pull
see
the
2
tube.
huge fingers.
I kind
There's
of
dirt under the nails.
I clean my nails.
Sometimes.
I grab the end of the tube with the 2 fingers, and I pull it back out, and kind of.
Okay, perfect. You guys are able to breathe again as you make your way to your boat. I will say, you notice that this place is teeming with devils. There are Sprinagons in flight, almost like a swarm of them above. They appear to sort of perch on the lower levels of this this sort of bridge that connects the 2 towers, as well as the sides. You also see there's a number of like storerooms that stretch along this fairly open sort of courtyard. On the other side, though, the place that you couldn't see, which is the exit to Fort Firespit, appears to be another gauntlet of flame in that same sort of forked thingamerdingle, and there appears to be devils sort of on the docks that are having a secondary conversation with people, any humanoids that are getting onto the boats. Would you like to investigate further, or what are you doing?
Do we have to pass through that?
You will, yeah.
And it's the same as the first one?
Yeah. A brief observation: you see one of these boats making their way through with life on board, and they appear to be unharmed.
I look up at the Mariloth. Mariloth. I'll be like, is that gonna burn us?
They sort of like are looking straight forward, and they don't seem to like register that it's a question that they can answer.
I'm not as evil as the average devil.
They're right next to sort of like a
I'm not as bad as the guy next to me.
rather uppity spine devil that appears to be next to the boat. He's sort of perched on the lantern and is looking at you 3 and says, "All right, you've passed through, so you're gonna need at least 3 sigils. Is that right?"
Yeah, that sounds really good.
You look at
He
him
sort of
and nod.
flaps under his wing, and you see he has this key ring full of these like brass emblems, similar to the one that Guile just had. He opens it up and sort of like grabs 3 of them, looks at each of you, and says, sort of like surveys all of you.
Kind of do my head a little bit.
Hands one to Amemnon,
That's not
hands
me.
one to you, hands one to Guile, and sort of like says, "Any odd international or interdimensional items that you're bringing down?"
I carry my entire life in interdimensional items.
Is there additional life in there?
No, I can't breathe.
Mm-hmm. Well, good. They will be incinerated if they are. No herbs, spices, various plants.
Oh no. I knew this was gonna happen.
Okay, hold on a sec. Outside of game, they are in another plane of existence. What are you talking about? The fucking gate will be able to reach inside of them.
I think it's
They're in another plane of existence.
Answer the question!
I think you need to act cool. Hold it together, Peter. It's all
This is not
Here
real.
we go. This is
No
all you.
door could ever do that.
We're literally just breathing through a tube. It's all on you, baby.
Are you serious?
Yes, Timmy.
No.
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
Do you
And
have
how do these work? You gotta be
Do you
like,
have any
touching them?
herbs with you, or any plants that you have?
I got a lot
that
of
are
plants,
foreign?
yeah.
Okay. Anything that is, he sort of like he like accumulates a list of things that's like any bog,
You have to check the box.
parsley, sip.
Hold on, give me a sec. I'm gonna...
We do have rosemary and thyme.
And he sort of goes through this list of foreign plants and spices with you.
So holy shit, how many Grudge's teas do we have?
Any explosive
We're
devices.
fucked.
We have so
We're
many.
never making it through TSA.
I'm like, I feel like this is probably a no-go, and I pull out a vial of holy water.
Drop it in the river!
This is expensive down here.
Slaps your hand.
Breaks on the ground. Damn, that was.
Wait,
really
how many
bad.
ounces of it was it though?
Yeah, was it under 8 ounces?
How many ounces of liquid was it?
So I got a question. If I if I set the coin in the boat in front of me, and I let go of it, do I die?
No questions.
What are you talking
All right, do you have any
You're like the guy who holds up the line
weapons,
and taking your shoes off.
explosive devices, any items
Pull out my gun.
deemed holy or radiant?
I already showed you the holy one.
I am a holy item. You pull out a gun.
I got a gun, yeah. This is
Keep
my
that
gun.
with you.
Yeah, of
You
course.
You don't care about the gun.
Puts it in his pocket. And he looks to the Marinoloth and says, "All clear," and then flits off from the thing as you guys are given safe travel.
Okay. I take out a little note of paper. I think real quick, touch the paper, and a little note appears on the paper, and I have the coin in my hand. Right? I have the coin in my hand, and I reach it down, and I squiggle it
slowly
into
so slowly.
squiggle it into the portable hole, and the note says,
Okay.
"Grab the coin."
All of us.
Grab the coin.
Grab the coin.
You all see
There's
a note
exclamation
that sort of
points.
floats down to the.
It's so big at the top, and then it's little, like Alice in
Yeah,
Wonderland.
Jesus.
We all put our hand on the coin.
You see
It
it.
says, "P.S. Don't take the coin."
Don't take the coin, just
Sounds
hold
good.
the coin.
We touch it with it. We slap your palm on it.
Slowly supplying. It makes its way forward, and you can feel sort of the water of the river Styx begin to push faster as you get halfway through underneath the bridge. Looking up, you can see these devils sort of flitting about, looking at everyone as the full movement of the descent of the river begins to take hold. You are rushing towards this gate very quickly, and as everyone grabs onto this coin, you hit that sort of veil of fire, and you feel this intense, peering nakedness of sight, some entity beyond your comprehension, filled with anger and hate, is looking at you to see if you were worthy of life. And in noticing that you're all touching an emblem of her own, she passes you over. There's a brief moment of celebration as you all take a sigh of relief. Those of you who are without breath might want to do so very carefully.
No, I'm good. It's just holding.
However, that moment of celebration is very swift, as after you pass through the precipice of the secondary gate, the waters of the river Styx begin to turn quickly into rapids. The descent is fast, and you are immediately finding yourselves, you three, amidst this sort of beginning canyon as you drop and drop and drop.
Let's save it. We have it.
As we're pressed up against it in the hole.
I wanted to say a joke, but I don't know if it's appropriate.
Say it.
But I was that kind of embarrassment that you get when you're being stared at. This vulnerability that you
I better
feel.
not drop the ball.
That kind of vulnerability. I was gonna make a comparison to when you're shaving your butthole. You never feel more vulnerable than when you're shaving your butthole.
Don't I know it?
Or
All
when
right.
you're talking to your waxologist.
With that
Some
said,
of us.
the descent is swift. The Morenoloth
As a
begins
hairy
to
man.
move his stick down quickly, and as he does, the rapids begin to take hold. The boat begins to rock and sway, threatening to tip over with a strength that is very uncomfortable. The limestone sides of the river begin to stretch 10, 20, 40, 50, 100 feet up, and they begin to widen as the river takes a full breath and begins to branch off. You take one way off to the right, another way off to the left. You narrowly escape a giant pillar of limestone that has been sort of eroded away from time as the rest of these pliers begin to separate. You and your party move faster and faster and faster forward as within what feels like minutes, it dawns on you. You see a break. This sort of canyon opens up into this oculus of space, like a lake of nothingness. Around this about, I want to say, like mile diameter would-be circle. The only way I can describe it is like a Niagara Falls of blood. The periphery is limestone and red. It descends in front of you. It's like 100 feet off, and you can see the only thing breaking your vision between you and the other side of this immense sinkhole of blood is this iron twisted spire that stretches up like piercing through the earth itself. It makes its way almost touching the sky, and you have moments before you feel that sort of like gut fear rushing in your belly. As you know what's imminent.
I try to resist the urge to just take off.
Yes, you will, because the only thing keeping you safe right now from the spray is this bubble of lantern.
The nectar probably helps too.
You push forward, and there is this sickening pit in your stomach as you begin to feel
Like
the
hit
boat
that edge.
teeter and drop.
All of the
All
rest
you
of us
can
are just
see. Yeah, y'all like just breathing.
It's so good out here.
We just hear whoa, 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 whoa.
It hits for just a moment before you can see down below you hundreds of feet into blackness and sea spray.
Blackness is way better than round.
There's a
spikes.
rush as you feel yourself pushed off the edge, a leap of faith before the entire boat at a breakneck speed descends like open air, falling hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet. And the sheer fear of it all alone makes you close your eyes for just a moment before opening them. And you realize that everything is calm around you. The entire environment has shifted. What was this sort of canyon around a spire of metal has transformed. The sky is black. There's rain above you. The sounds in this area are like a cacophony of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of voices, and the only thing that meets your gaze is this jungle of white-hot iron buildings blocking your vision at various different lengths. The Morenoloth continues to ply, slowly, down a
Oh. Everything got calmer, but the music got way worse.
down a sturdy stone aqueduct in what you now can only assume is the city of Dis. Right next to you, around sort of the periphery that you're moving, is this giant citadel that stretches all the way to the sky and breaches through that darkened, like, haze of rain and clouds above.
Blood rain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of you don't see any of this.
No, I was
No,
like-
absolutely not.
Okay, so where are you dropping us? Dropping us off.
Boop.
Jumping off.
We can go to street level.
That sounds great.
It's moments
Okay.
before he stops slowly at this sidewalk that just juts barely into this aqueduct before staring straight forward, waiting
You need anything else?
He's barely even looking.
Alright. Okay. I kind of stand up. I get my bearings.
What's a Memnon doing?
He's gathering his things, getting up before sort of like getting off of the boat with Guile in tow, and says, "Well, that couldn't have gone better, I think."
Yeah, to be honest, I was a little skeptical about the overly excited 3 tieflings that approached us.
Well,
Anyways, we should probably find an alley.
yes, the worst is yet to come. We need to get to a safe house. Let's reconvene, find an alley, get everyone out, and then the rest is up to us.
Okay. I look around. Subtle alley anywhere?
You
look around.
There's a
Is there a subtle alley?
So you're on kind of a heightened vantage point. What you can see, and what I kind of want to set as a precedent for this very different world, is there's a stairway that descends and appears to sort of like curve back and forth towards the lower levels. You can see the tops of buildings that become more buildings on top, and this entire sort of like ecosystem is a labyrinthine maze of like city.
Is it that art piece with all the?
No, it's not that.
Okay,
Escher?
okay. I was really hoping it was that.
Like getting to
mind
street
bending.
level, as you guys begin to descend, you start descending farther than you imagine until you get to a point where the vision that you have of like the available space, where it once was you were able to see buildings beyond this, is constricted just to the buildings in front of you. And you are kind of confined to one steady street that is just chock full of people. There are devils, there are humanoids, there are various races, all sort of flitting about. And with it, you're able to kind of like go into the first sort of alley place to find safety.
One of the things I bring up as we make our way below the roof line. Do either of you, Memnon and Guile, know where we're going?
Yes. I don't think we should say it out loud. I don't think we should really talk openly.
Okay,
without
I think a
everyone else.
yes is good. That makes me feel a little better. Okay. Alley. Hiding.
There is a place. A bar. Between bars. Mortal's last stand. It kind of exists as a midway point. A meeting locale for whoever finds themselves in dips and needs relative safety. It's run by a pit fiend who provides safety for mortals at the expense of them agreeing to be involved on their best behavior. Keep your eyes out. What we need to find is a door with a hand for a doorknob.
Okay. Do you think it would be prudent for us to get our friends out first?
I think so.
Okay. Do we successfully find a place? Do we find a place?
I'm gonna say that you're able to get your friends out if you want to do that first.
I think that's something I want to do. I don't want anyone to know.
Roll. Okay, so I'm gonna have you roll an investigation check, just with advantage, just to find a safe location.
Petey.
Pick some fucking different dice, sir.
Petey
can do-
McSweeney.
I tried.
With advantage.
I tried Ruby's dice.
They're helping you.
I know. I rolled with advantage.
Okay, what is it?
So I rolled a 2 and a 3. And I get a +9.
Can I give you my
So
inspiration?
that's a 12.
You're not there.
Okay.
I get a 12 for my investigation check.
Sounds good. I'm gonna say there's no real location that is safe enough for you to just bring out a bunch of mortals. However,
I'm gonna try to do it with sleight of hand.
what's kind of great is that there's
How about a
like
couple?
so many people around that like if you were to bring out something or do something, it's not like you're the only person being watched.
Got a plan. I got a plan.
Mhm.
So what I do is I kind of bring my cloak up.
Dracula.
I take I'm gonna try to do this without dropping a huge bomb in the street. I take the cloth and I sort of kind of let it unfold a little. And I'm like, okay, step out of my cloak. And I'm gonna have the party step out of my cloak and into the street. I'm gonna try to be discreet about it.
Okay.
So it just looks like I got people walking out of my clothes.
Perfect. I'm gonna have you roll a
That's
quick
what I
little
got.
stealth check.
A stealth check?
Yeah.
I
Actually,
think
anyone
I
who's
feel-
exiting, I'm gonna have you roll just a little bit of stealth check. Actually, let me ask this question: Are y'all just like going out, trusting this?
I feel pretty safe in the bag.
Perfect.
I'm gonna go out because I know that I have a spell specifically
You, like-
stocked to help with this.
You like try
So-
to get Val out of the bag
So-
and you don't.
I really just want to like somersault tumble out of his fucking coat.
That's
But-
fine.
I do think Grudj tumbled so
Ungracefully.
ungracefully out of his cloak.
So dramatic, jeez.
I'm gonna just say, okay, keep going. What are you doing?
You want me to do stealth or sleight of hand?
I'm gonna do yeah. Anyone who wants to be a little stealthy about this, just roll a stealth check. Yeah.
I'm gonna try.
I'm
Including
gonna
me?
say you're gonna get disadvantage.
That's fine.
I'm a little scared to leave the bag, but I'm also scared to stay in the bag. Do you feel?
Yeah.
You feel?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know it?
Heidi takes your
Not
hand.
bad.
Heidi takes my hand. She's gonna get out of the
She's
bag.
gonna walk you with this.
No, I want to stay.
The lowest of the two was a 12 plus
Heidi's
stealth.
going.
Yep.
13.
Perfect.
I rolled
I
a
was gonna
22.
stay in.
Okay. Sounds good.
And you're just not gonna roll.
What? Oh, I did. It's 11.
Oh.
13.
Didn't realize.
Okay. Sounds good. Perfect.
It could be worse, you know. I got pocket friends.
I'm just worried about.
You existing in this place.
Yeah.
Just put a cloak on. You'll be fine.
I think I'm very bundled up, and I think I have my little helmet flap down. And I think I'm standing between, like, you, Guile, and Amemnon, hoping that your
You're
general
looking
aura
as
will zero me
intimidatingly
out.
unobtrusive as you can.
Yeah.
Do you have a great sword? Those are intimidating.
Oh, I could be strapped
Yeah.
with weapons.
Don't hold your hammer. Your
No.
new hammer. Don't do
No,
that.
that's in my. I take my bag back from you.
Honestly,
Oh,
The
Having-
celestial hammer.
having something that murders fiends unconditionally just displayed.
She looks at your hair and she's like,
I
"Oh,
mean,
Val, I think there's a
it's
streak of
intimidating.
brunette in there."
It's like an excellent guard for the place.
And I swear to God, I'll punch you right now. There better not be.
It's right there. Look.
There better not.
Look.
I
There's
do
like
not have time for
there's
this.
like 2 strands of brunette.
Get
Just
back in the
saying.
bag. I will
Your hair's
hand you
looking
the bag.
back.
I mean,
And you
Val,
will.
she's right.
Okay.
My nose is still broken.
Yeah, you gotta stop being evil.
I know, because she's gonna hit you before she hits me.
Exiting out of the portable hole, you all make your way into the same disorienting situation. There are people everywhere, and amidst the chaos, you feel sort of relatively safe for just a moment. You look around you, and it's Amemnon who pipes up first and says, "Oh no, trouble incoming." You follow his gaze, and you look to see a devil, a sort of blackened figure with ropey muscles, who has this flail of just barbed, terrifying garbage,
Oh no.
covered in chains. Chains that are sort of barbed in their own right, wrapping around his body, his arms, his legs, cutting into his flesh, around his face and his head. And he sort of points to all of you and says, "Hey, who are those people there?"
We're random people.
Before beginning to make way in your in your direction. As he's doing that, he sort of pulls this like box from his side that was on his side.
The walkie-talkie.
It's a little like cranky box, like a boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop, that sort of thing.
It's a siren.
And he begins
Silence.
to crank it. And as he does, you can hear sort of a tick, 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 until it just starts screaming like
Can
someone
I have,
in
as soon as I
pain.
see that, silence?
Absolutely. You cast off silence, he begins to run towards you all, and you have a choice. What are you doing?
Run.
Does he look?
Hold.
Does he look
I
like
was
an
thinking back
official
home,
guard?
Yeah, run.
He looks like a devil.
Run.
Do you want to try or what?
Run.
Well, I was just saying, if he's just a random guy, I'm sure they don't frown upon murder. Let's go. Let's run.
Can I make an insight check? Real quick. If we kill this devil, is the vibe going to be okay around here?
Yeah, I'm gonna change that into a little perception check.
Cool. Can I use Reggie?
May I?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, fuck. Dirty 20.
It looks
bad.
like he is linked to a bunch of mortals that are all chained together. They have their hands and legs all chained. Their mouths are covered with this barbed wire that cuts into their flesh. And there's a whole just string of them.
I'm going to turn and go, run.
Looks like baddies, and as you turn to run, Amemnon and Guile turn to run, Heidi turns to run, Stixer turns to run. Is anyone else running in this situation?
I pull Heidi onto the broom.
I say,
Perfect.
Memnon,
If everyone's
Run a little
running, I'll
faster.
run.
Yeah,
put a wall. We're running down the alley. Wall it. Wall it.
perfect.
Let's
As you guys
go.
begin to turn tail and run down the alley, forcing people out of your way as you make your way forward, I think with that, I'm going to stop this session and roll initiative next time.